You Jake Sully?
I'd like to talk to you about a fresh start on a new world. You'd be making a difference.
I became a Marine for the hardship. I told myself I could pass any test a man can pass. All I ever wanted was a single thing worth fighting for.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're not in Kansas anymore. You're on Pandora.
They've sent us a message that they can take whatever they want. But we will send them a message that this is our land.
One's available on DVD. This is live. Diamondbacks baseball. Glad to be back home. Just another day in paradise with the people. They're not so blue, they hope anyway, like we had coming on the air. We're at Chase Field. It's the St. Louis Cardinals, the winners of the Central last year, going head-to-head with the Arizona Diamondback. And when the Cardinals come to town, you know the Diamondbacks have their hands full, or any team. The three-time most valuable player, the Triple Crown winner in the decade of the new millennium of the double zeros against Rodrigo Lopez. Very good in his first start as a Diamondback. Scuffled a bit on the road, though the Diamondbacks did win in his start as he makes his way back. We've made our way back, folks. Glad to have you back in the ballpark with us. He is Mark Grace. My name is Darren Sutton, and it's good to be back home, isn't it?
It is good to be back home. It was a rough ending to that last road trip. The Diamondbacks need some home cooking, and guess what they get? The great St. Louis Cardinals.
All right, well, let's talk about that tough ending to the road trip. It's been, more specifically, tough endings to ball games. There's been now a separation. The starters starting to get it done. The relievers not, but I think you say the starters maybe can help the relievers out.
Well, if you look at that graphic, you're going to say yikes when you see the relievers. But what needs to happen is for those starters to carry those numbers deeper into the ball game, Darren. You've got guys going 5, 6 innings. That taxes a bullpen. Too many guys throwing too many innings in that bullpen. And when that happens, all of a sudden the fastballs are a little bit shorter. The sliders aren't near as sharp. And because of that, you're going to get hit. What these starters need to do, especially when they see us a collective bullpen, these guys are struggling. These guys need to be their own bullpen. Go a little deeper in the ball game. That will end the problems late in the ball game.
All right, Rodrigo Lopez certainly up to the challenge, or so he hopes. He talked about that yesterday leading into it today. Let's take a look at the team he is facing. The Cardinals and who they are.
That's okay. I'll take this for you, D-Sut. You see what they're going up against. Albert Pujols, Matt Holliday. He came over from the A's last year and just took over. And you can see what Brad Penny does to the Diamondbacks. It's a real struggle for any Diamondback hitters when he takes them out.
I get all choked up when the Cardinals come to town. I had to hit a little water there. Got a frog in my throat. Gracie, thanks for picking me up. Brad Penny, Matt Holliday, Albert Pujols. We are ready to go. Please pass the honey and the tea. Please pass me a 7-inning start from that man tonight. It's the Diamondbacks. It's the Cardinals. We're going to go have a cough drop at a ball game.
And a Heimlich maneuver.
left field for baseball. The Diamondbacks taking on the St. Louis Cardinals. D-backs opening up a 6-game homestand, hoping to turn things around, but they'll have to do it without Connor Jackson. He landed on the 15-day DL today. They'll bring up Esmeralyn Vasquez to give the bullpen a little boost. But let's look at the injury yesterday in San Diego to Connor Jackson as he runs down the left field line. And Connor said, as he's pulling up here, kind of took a couple funny steps, felt a tweak in the hamstring. It is a strained hamstring. Should be taken care of in that 15-day period. Tonight, Gerardo Parra will get the start in left field. Kelly Johnson will be the leadoff hitter, but Connor Jackson very disappointed that he's landing on the DL right now, especially considering what he went through last year battling valley fever. Well, coming up next, it's Rodrigo Lopez taking the hill for the D-backs as they take on the Cardinals. Darren Sutton and Mark Grace will have the first pitch coming up next.
The future Hall of Fame skipper of these St. Louis Cardinals. He did some managing the other night. 33 years, the A's, the White Sox, and now the Cardinals. And so much success, there is a spot and will be a spot for him in Cooperstown. Skip Schumacher, Ryan Ludwig, and Albert Pujols to get things started. Lopez ready to go. The 34-year-old right-hander. It is good to be back home as he wheels and deals. And he does so with the strike. A fast strike. 0-1 the count to Schumacher. And we are underway here at Chase Field. You can see our numbers delivered by our good friends with the UPS store as he rocks and fires again. Breaking ball dives down and in. A harder slider there. No balls and 2 strikes to count. Schumacher at 233 without a homer, without an RBI. On base percentage, though, of 340. So he has scored 8 runs for these St. Louis Cardinals. The other way on a line. That's a base hit in front of Gerardo Parra. And so St. Louis ready to roll. Let's take a look at the entire starting lineup behind them. Of course, we've talked about Ludwig. A real turnaround in the National League. The best hitter in the game is Albert Pujols. It's Matt Holliday, Colby Rasmus, Felipe Lopez enjoying a fine turnaround of late. Yadier Molina, Brendan Ryan, and Brad Penny. Oh, he has fans everywhere.
As well he should. He's going to have at least one fella on, or at least he hopes, after a very poor 0-2 pitch there from Lopez to Schumacher, and it cost him a base hit.
The one thing, Gracie, that Lopez worked on as Ludwig takes outside in his last bullpen session was he felt like with his breaking pitches, not as much as fastball, overthrowing. So you open up that side, you don't execute. That's what happened there.
Yeah, he did a great job of jumping ahead 0-2, but we saw it in the Dodger series. He had trouble putting Dodger hitters away with 2 strikes, and he made a mistake 0-2 and just went right down the middle with a fastball and got beat for a base hit.
Well, who is he, you might ask, with regard to the pitches that he throws? The fastball, you can see 88 miles an hour when it's right. Slider, changeup, and cutter, and he will go to a 5th pitch, a variation of 2-seam fastball. But about half fastballs and the other half the soft stuff. You talk about putting hitters away, 1-1 the count. He'd love a ground ball here, put 2 right up on the scoreboard at one time. Instead, it's a base hit into left field.
Another fastball right in the middle of the plate.
With a couple of runners on, they do so in front of Albert Pujols.
Not really the way you drew up the top of the first inning if you're Rodrigo Lopez, but hey, you're going to have to go after the big fella. You hope you make some pitches and get him to hit it on the ground. If he hits it on the ground, you can double him up, because if there is anything that Albert Pujols doesn't do well, it's get to first base. He's a very good base runner. He just doesn't get down the line very well because he takes those big swings.
On base of 421, he's slugging .694. Gracie talked about him a lot in the pregame show. We heard from Albert in the pregame show. Good pitch, a fastball in, and he offered right away.
That's very rare for Albert Pujols. He usually takes the first pitch, but when there's a couple of fellas out there to be driven in, very aggressive. He got a pitch up and in and just got eaten alive by that fastball from Lopez.
These two have matched up 5 times. Albert 0 for 5 with a strikeout against Rodrigo Lopez. And again, looking to induce a ground ball, get a couple of outs at one time. That pitch is up. Clearly overthrew that one there. You can see the front side spin off. The good news for Lopez is he knows it. He knows he's trying a little bit too hard at times. And he is a guy that realizes that 80% is perfect for him with regard to mechanics and effort. The 1-1. Pulls that one outside. But let's be honest, Gracie, it's easy to say that up here.
Of course.
But you get in that situation with this man in the box, you ratchet up your emotions.
Yeah, all of a sudden now you throw all those things you thought about right out the window because you see big number 5 locking in against you with first and second and nobody out.
The Cardinals have started the year 8-4. Up, he got away with one, a slider, 2-2 the count.
He's thrown 4 pitches to Albert Pujols. They've all 4 been out of the strike zone. That might have been a high strike, just a hanging curveball. You rarely see Big Albert swing through that one.
5 homers, 15 RBIs. A well-spent 13th round draft pick. The Cardinals signed him up for $60,000 out of junior college. 2-2. Line drive, center field, going back, and it is Young. He is now 0 for 6 against Lopez. To the bag, the race is on. They got him at third base. Mark Reynolds was taken off the bag a bit by the throw from center fielder Chris Young, but it eventually turns into an outfield assist. Done is Schumacher.
That's just heads-up baseball by Mark Reynolds. Now, it was a rocket, and Young misses the cutoff man, throws it up the line, misses the cutoff man. Schumacher reads that, but Mark Reynolds, Johnny on the spot, the race is on, and Fielding Colbert, the third base umpire, said he got the glove on Schumacher before he got there. Great play by Mark Reynolds in the foot race with Schumacher.
Let us be clear about this. There may have been struggles on the mound, in the bullpen during this last road trip. There were no struggles for that man defensively. He had a fabulous trip with the glove. Holliday, it doesn't get any easier. Slow curveball for strike 1 to Matt Holliday. 311, 3 homers, 6 RBIs. You can see slugging .578 this year. Had 3 hits last night. They played a getaway day game in the evening, televised nationally, and they were victorious. And prior to that, he was 0 for 16, so he's starting to get rolling again. Where do you come up for air here in the first 4 or 5?
Yeah, you really don't. Ludwig been an all-star. Schumacher, a terrific leadoff man, and then these 2 big boys in the middle of the lineup. Boy, they keep a pitcher up at night.
Boy, Holiday rolled last year when he was acquired from Oakland. 13 homers, 55 RBIs, hit .353 in 63 games. His power is all over the park, correct?
Yes.
High fly, right center field. Young is there. He tried to shoot it deep to right. Well, I'll tell you, it started scary. A couple of runners on, Pujols and Holiday waiting. Rodrigo, a 0. Completed lineup. No Miguel Montero, no Connor Jackson. No excuses, though, for the Diamondbacks. As we take a look at the Southwest Airlines starting lineup, Kelly Johnson now moves to the leadoff spot. Stephen Drew, Justin Upton, Adam LaRoche back healthy, and that will help. It's Reynolds, it is Young, and then it's Gerardo Parra. We'll see a lot of him with Chris Snyder behind the plate catching Rodrigo Lopez. Bradley Wayne Penny, drafted by the Diamondbacks. He was a Marlin in the big leagues. He was a Dodger. He now goes to work here for the St. Louis Cardinals, where he signed as a free agent. And you can see a solid start for the veteran right-hand.
And then some. A guy that just tears up the Diamondbacks and has his whole career. Power arm. Fastball gets up to the mid to high 90s.
And he does so with a fastball that misses away. Drafted in 1996 by Arizona in the 5th round, Brad Penny. As you see Kelly Johnson in that leadoff spot. Traded to Florida with Vladimir Nunez for Matt Manta. The 1-0. Goes right back to the fastball. 1-1 the count to Kelly.
And he just painted the outside corner with that fastball. Beautiful pitch.
Look at it, third. Way in Felipe Lopez. Back on the grass is Ryan. Interesting setup there. So he hits it right where they're set up. So it might have been interesting, but Penny hits his spots, and the defensive alignment was absolutely perfect there for the St. Louis Cardinals. Let's take a look defensively for St. Louis. Holiday, Erasmus, Ryan Ludwig in the outfield. Former Diamondback Felipe Lopez says, I'll play anywhere as long as it's in the starting lineup. He's at third. It's Ryan, Lopez. Actually, that's Schumacher at second, not Lopez. We'd love to have him in 2 places with Pujols at first. Yadier Molina catches Brad Penny. There's the most tired catcher in the game right now, Yadier Molina.
I would imagine after catching 20 long ones a couple of days ago. He's a Molina. He's got a couple of brothers that do the same thing. 20 innings, not too many for him.
Stephen Drew, a breaking ball. What a pretty piece of hitting. Breaking ball up a little bit. He shoots it the other way. So Drew with the base hit. He was just 3 for 17 against Penny prior to that hit, and he was just 1 for 8 in the San Diego series. So this feels good.
Breaking ball stays up and out over, and boy, Stephen Drew does a great job of just staying back, letting the ball travel, and just swatting it to left field. That's pretty. That's how 300 hitters do it right there, Darren Sutton.
So now Justin Upton. Upton at 229, 3 homers, 4 RBIs, 10 runs scored this year. Waves at a slider. 0-1 the count to Upton.
Justin came out of his shoes on that one, and when he does that, he tends to pull off the ball. He tends to take his eyes off the ball, and that's why he came up empty.
Boy, Wade LeBlanc found a young Justin Upton, the left-hander, by the way, for the Padres, overly aggressive yesterday. And he fed off of it all afternoon. LeBlanc did, to his credit. The 0-1. 0-2 the count, 94 miles an hour to Justin.
Start with the slider and then come right back with the gas to jump ahead 0-2.
Oh, 0-2 the count. Brad Penny has had a fabulous career against Diamondbacks hitters and against this organization. No matter where he has played, just gets a piece of that one. 17 starts, 9-3, a sub-2 ERA. And Gracie, he's not doing it with a mountain full of strikeouts. A little bit over 6 per 9 innings. He's hitting enough bats, but he's hitting them off the sweet spot.
That's exactly it. Brad Penny, a power pitcher, but yet he also knows how to induce a ground ball when necessary. He can pop a guy up when necessary. He's learned how to pitch. He used to be a thrower. When I was facing Brad Penny, he was more of a thrower. A guy that didn't have good command and threw very hard. Now he's learned a lot more about the art of pitching.
And makes him move his feet. That's part of the art of pitching, isn't it?
That's exactly right. He had no intentions of throwing a strike right there. He threw it right where he wanted, and that is to make Justin Upton move his feet. Dave Duncan is fabulous pitching coach, but he just goes right to the glove and makes Justin move. This is usually a pretty good pitch to run on if you're Stephen Drew, because he'll probably would go with something away and something soft after going down and in hard.
We keep an eye on Drew. He stays put. It is away, as you said. 2-2 the count. Stephen not going anywhere. Brad below league average with regard to, in his career, opposing base runners, but he just started pitching to that man behind the plate.
And that would have been the pitch to go on. It was in the dirt. No way he would have thrown out Stephen Drew on a ball in the dirt.
Justin 3 for 10 in career at bats against the big Oklahoman, Brad Penny. Broken Arrow, Oklahoma, just outside of Tulsa. Got him over the top. Down goes Upton. He pulled back on that. Was that a change?
That was a changeup.
Nasty. That dove like a splitter in the end.
There you see it. It's just gone.
And his change is a variation of the split-fingered fastball. Not like Dan Herron where he splits it wide open, just spreads his fingers a bit.
Just a little more than normal.
And that's why you get that 89 miles an hour. So now Adam LaRoche, just a handful of games in San Diego with a minor quad injury, and he had just started to roll. That was the tough part about it. 3 for 9 on the road trip, a couple of doubles, couple of RBIs. Speaking of rolling, he drives it deep right center field. That one high up and over the wall.
Oh, what a bad break the Diamondbacks just got.
And he would have scored walking home, Stephen Drew. A ground rule double.
That's a bad break. That's a beautiful piece of hitting. But unfortunately for the Diamondbacks, it's not going to play to run. First pitch fastball middle. Adam LaRoche just drills it. Welcome back, son. That's nice. And this is the part that's not nice. Just to the right of that yellow line. And yes, it bounces over, and that's a ground rule double. So no run. But Mark Reynolds an opportunity to drive in a couple here in the first.
Runners on second and third, 2 outs for Mark Reynolds. Hitting below 200 with 4 home runs, 9 RBIs. Another double for LaRoche, as that one is low. That's the split change there. 1-0 the count to Mark. Now, Mark, we said it yesterday in the first inning, just when you give up on him, and he was really struggling. He'll have a good day, and a good day will turn into a good week. Well, he had a good day yesterday. 3 hits yesterday, including a home run. And you can hop on his back, you hope, for a while. Drills that one to center. Going back, looking up. Hop on my back, says Mark Reynolds. 1 run, and LaRoche right behind. Reynolds with the double. 2 RBIs. The Diamondbacks strike first as they lead it 2-0.
Well, it's not a bad break if you've got a guy like Mark Reynolds that just takes it personal. Okay, we got the ground rule double in front of me. It cost me a run. Well, all that means is I can drive in 2 then, and that's exactly what he does. Fastball, middle of the plate, and just drills it into the left field, not the left field corner, the left center gap. 2-run score easily, and it's nice to have a little home cooking again, isn't it, Darren Sutton?
No, you bet it's nice to have home cooking. Although I've called that area of the ballpark the corner before, so don't worry about it.
Well, there is a little bit of a corner.
We were talking about that before the game today, as Chris Young takes a strike. By the way, scoring against the Cardinals, that's a good thing, because here's the bottom line. Their ERA is 2.45. That's best in the majors. Their starters have posted an ERA of .80 over their last 6 games.
Mercy. Oh, he hung one, but got away with it.
Chris Young pops it up. He battled that yesterday in San Diego as well. Mark Reynolds coming through with yet another 2-out pair of RBIs. Outside of the box. It was a 20-inning affair on Saturday night. You know, the Cardinals thought they were getting it done, but then Reyes with a sac fly and an RBI have the New York Mets getting back on top and winning it in 20 by a score of 2-1. A never-ending affair. If you went to a 20-inning game, would you stay? 36929. We've introduced it on our pregame show. Yes or no? 20-inning game. Would you stay? Strike one.
What's your answer?
Well, my answer is absolutely no.
Nope.
Yep.
I don't think so.
Got to go to work.
Yep.
Babysitter, it's going to cost me $5,000.
How about if you knew ahead of time the game was going to go 20 innings, would you go?
They cut off beverage sales in the 7th.
Well, that's reason not to stay.
we could leave and come back.
That's a good point.
1-1 the count to Colby Rasmus. Swings right through the fastball. I mean, that young man wasn't even born when that game started.
Oh, yeah. They haven't cut off beverage sales yet for him. Atta boy.
Look at that dude, by
That's
the way.
Great.
Love being back home, no matter who you're rooting for. Love seeing the kids at the ballpark. Painting over the outside corner, Colby Rasmus will lower that average below 188. This is how Lopez gets a majority of his strikeouts.
Just a fastball right on the outside corner at the knees. Good frame-up job there by Chris Snyder, the catcher. And one quick out. Oh, that was nice. Right. Painting the outside corner.
We touched on that in Los Angeles as Felipe Lopez digs in. And 4 out of every 10 of his strikeouts are looking. And that is a number well above league average. He doesn't have swing and miss stuff. That's why.
That's exactly right.
But yet he has a good command. Former D-back Lopez takes outside, saying before the game, I liked it here. I really enjoyed playing here in Arizona. My family was comfortable.
It's a great place to play. I love playing here. Love broadcasting here.
The 1-1. Breaking ball called a strike. 1-2 the count. And Lopez admits he's a better baseball player all around when Albert Pujols is his teammate. They struck up a friendship a couple of years back. Albert keeps an eye on him.
I think he makes everybody better, doesn't he?
The 1-2. It's in. He'll admit, Albert keeps an eye on me. Keeps me straight.
Mm-hmm.
But here's what we do know. He hits just about everywhere, and including in this ballpark. Hit 300 as a Diamondback last year. I don't think anybody here had a single problem with the way he hit because he hit the entire time.
He's a good player. You put him at third, he can play. You can play him at short. You can play him at second base. You can play him all well. And you know, as a switch hitter, that's a tough out. As he just proved, as Rodrigo walked him.
Let's listen to pitching coach Mel Stottlemyre Jr., his thoughts on Rodrigo Lopez and his approach.
Guy competes real well. He has a good feel for what hitters are trying to do against him. You know, and this is a guy that's done it at the big leagues. He has the experience. He handles the running game real well. He's a savvy pitcher. He's a pitch maker. He pitches the contact. You know, he's a guy for us that's going to give us an opportunity to win each time out. May not always go deep into games with his pitch count. Because, again, when he gets himself in trouble, he knows how to get himself out. He knows what pitches he needs to go to get out of jams.
But Coach Stottlemyre, tonight, we're asking him to go deep in the game.
Yeah, we need to go a little deeper there, Coach. And that's a lesson for all the Diamondback starters. And there's more than one starter that got a lead blown for him.
Looking for a ground ball here. And a breaking ball drops it in there. Good pitch. 1-1 the count. We were talking about those strikeouts and those strikeouts looking. He has, Lopez that is, gotten 4 swing and misses this season so far. Just 4.
Wow. I find that hard to believe, but you wouldn't lie to me, would you?
I would, but not about that. 1-1 the count. He drives him back to the bag. See, because technically I'd be lying to our viewers.
Yeah, that's true.
And that I won't do.
Oh, gosh, I missed you this weekend.
When I say I'm out of money, when the check comes or I left my wallet back in my room, that's the tall tale I might say.
Yeah, that's when you're putting the shuck on me.
That's the part right there talking about holding the base runners well. He has a league average with regard to opponents caught stealing at 29%. Now, on the season, Lopez, with his strikeouts, 8 of them, 7 of the 8 looking. 1-1 the count.
That'll get Yadier's attention as he stares out at Rodrigo Lopez.
Who's fairly unfazed by all of it.
He didn't really move. He just kind of stayed right there, and it just missed him, fortunately. He probably felt that one go by.
Rodrigo, born and raised in a suburb of Mexico City. He has faced Molina just a handful of times. Yadier 0 for 4 against him. Runner goes, big swing, changeup, throw down, not in time, stolen base. Felipe Lopez picked on a soft pitch, and with the hitter a little bit ticked off and over aggressive, he swings through that one.
Yeah, he got a changeup. Lopez got a very good jump, and once the throw's in the dirt, he's going to get there safely, and he did. Nice pickup there by Kelly Johnson.
And by the way, a swing and a miss there.
That's right. 5.
That is 5 on the year. 2-2 the count. Molina, a couple of gold gloves on his trophy case in 08 and in 09. 27 years, the youngest of the Molina brothers. And he had a tough homestand with the Cardinals. 4 hits and 26 at-bats. Outfield plays him the other way. Good
Another
pitch.
swing and miss, Darren, for strike 3.
He's stacking them up. That's a running fastball after a changeup. Both swung on and missed. Defensively, let's take a look at the Arizona Diamondbacks with Parra, Young, and Upton. Reynolds, Drew, Johnson with LaRoche. And Chris Snyder catches. Mark Reynolds, as we mentioned on the road trip, had a fine defensive look each and every time. Whether it was throwing from his knees.
So impressive. He was all over the place and starting to swing that bat as well, driving in some runs. He's sitting on 11 RBIs now after the slow first week.
1-0 the count to Brendan Ryan. Ryan off to a quiet start this year. Had a great year last year with the glove, with the bat. Raised himself to that elite level of all-around shortstops in the National League in a single season as the breaking ball misses low. 2-0. Played his college baseball at a school that dominates all small colleges. Lewis Clark State University in Lewiston, Idaho, where, by the way, Mel Stottlemyre Jr. makes his winter home. Just about each and every year they win the NAIA World Series. A dominating program run by Ed Sheff. Over the top of a changeup, 2-1.
Good changeup there. We've seen a couple or 3 good changeups out of Rodrigo Lopez. Keeping the Cardinals honest, and that makes his fastball a little better, Darren. That's a 2-0 changeup. Look at it dive. And just nicked foul there by Brendan Ryan.
The 34-year-old who broke in with San Diego back in 2000. Just as Fernando Valenzuela was finishing his time around professional baseball. Just off the plate. 2-2 it's not. 3-1 the count. Rodrigo had a chance to spend some time with Fernando, who, to his credit, took the time to go down and spend a few moments with his countrymen. Simply put, I was supposed to be a soccer player, he says, but because of Fernando Valenzuela, I'm a baseball player. That pitch is outside. He lost in ball 4.
Well, it looked like he was pitching around Ryan to get to Brad Penny, who, by the way, is not a bad hitter. Brad Penny hadn't gotten a hit yet this year, but if you throw him a first pitch fastball in the zone, he can hit it hard.
Well, he's big and he's strong. We know that, and we've always known that. A 155 career hitter. A couple of home runs in his time in the big leagues. He stands in hitterish anyway as he waves at the first one of breaking ball.
He was guessing fastball and he was guessing strike. Well, he got the slider, and that's the swing and miss. But why not? Why not go up there looking for that first pitch fastball and take a whack at it? Here's Mark McGuire, the hitting coach for the Cardinals.
The 0-1. Outside. Waves at that one. 0-2 the count.
Another fastball, or I'm sorry, another slider after he was looking fastball. I think one more slider ought to do it.
All right, well, let's see.
He was laid off of it that time. That'll make Mark McGuire, his hitting coach, happy. Looks like Big Mac a lot like me, Darren. There's a little more salt than pepper in that goatee these days. I know how you feel. There's a good look.
Hard to catch up with him. He spent the entire time before the game in the cage. Chased a fastball. Drew is there and in time for the out. Cardinals have had all kinds of base runners so far in this game, but nothing to show for it. D-backs Cardinals getting together tonight. At some point, the bullpen will pitch in this game, and it's been a sore spot on the road trip. Justin Upton, outfielder, not pitcher, talks about the effects it has on the entire team.
I mean, it's hard not to read, what people write about those guys going out there and giving it up. And you know what? We get mad too. We don't want to lose those games, but people forget how hard this game is. I mean, those guys are out there trying to hit just as much as those guys are trying to get them out. And it's. I feel for them. I mean, it's all come down on them at one time. But, we're behind them. I mean, the position players were behind them, and they're going to grind it out just like we are. We're losing as a team. We're not losing. It's not the pitchers losing by themselves. It's us, too.
Because, after all, hitters can go 1 for 32 as well.
That's pretty well said. That is pretty well said. There's opportunities to blow some of those games open, make them more than 1 or 2 run leads. You can drive in a couple of runs with a couple of guys on, and all of a sudden now it's a 4 or 5 run lead instead of a 2 run lead. Now you might be able to change some things. So I like the fact that he said, you win and lose as a squad, not as individuals.
1-0 the count. That is our Geico quote to Gerardo Parra, and he will be leaned on now. Because Connor Jackson, they're going to further investigate with an MRI that hamstring as he takes a strike. We say respectfully to Parra, as I ask you, though, Gracie, that's a little bit of a blow, isn't it, losing Connor Jackson?
Well, of course it is. And, you never want to get your playing time at the expense of another man's injury. But now this is Gerardo Parra's opportunity to take this and run with it. This is an opportunity to say, hey, we're going to be okay. My name's going to be in the lineup a lot now, and I'm going to show not only my manager, I'm going to show my teammates that I can handle this thing out in left field for a couple of weeks. That's the way you have to look at it, Darren.
Well, and he did. He had a solid rookie year last year. There's no debating the contributions he was able to pitch in. Kind of just with regard to on-base percentage and quality of at bat, the ability to bat leadoff, and that's what you'll miss. This is a young man that hit .290 with 60 RBIs as a rookie last year. And look at the difference when he starts and gets consistent at bats. That's incredible. He waves at a fastball high. 3-2 the count.
Yeah, 3-1 up and away. That's just a little bit over aggressive right there by Gerardo Parra. That would have easily been ball 4. Instead, he opens up the arsenal now. Penny can throw about anything he wants. 3-2. I would imagine after blowing a fastball by him, he's going to get one again here on 3-2.
The 3-2 pitch. Protected.
Good pitch. Very good pitch there, right on the outside corner. Nice job of Parra just swatting that one foul.
I was going to say, put yourself in his spikes. Is this the best you can do, correct, on a pitch like that?
That's about all you can do. Foul it off and hope for a mistake or ball 4 here. And you can see he was just trying to poke it foul.
And again.
Once again, tough pitch. Too close to take.
Do you keep hoping in that left-handed batter's box, as that's where you stood, that at some point he makes a mistake? Because he's painting right now.
He really is. But he's also making Penny work. A lot of hitters are not able to foul that off. That would be strike 3. And he's going to try to come in. He went away again, missed his spot, but he got away with it. Strike 3. Got him to chase ball 4 again.
And you can see Brad Penny, that average fastball this year is actually up. He's throwing fewer of them, but it's up, and that's
throwing
that
hard
change. It's very interesting. Get a jump in velocity for the big fella. Probably just feels healthy and strong. Split last year between Boston and San Francisco as he spins off and shoots it in there. Fun to watch him pitch. He doesn't throw, as we mentioned, nearly the amount of fastballs he used to. They play Snyder to pull in the infield. Outfield straight. And a breaking ball. I want to remind everyone that anytime the D-backs score 6 runs or more, Taco Bell gives away 3 free tacos with the purchase of a large drink between 4 and 6 the following day at participating locations. Hello, youngsters.
Good to have you out here.
The 0-2. Outside.
That looked like another one of those like split off-speed pitches, but that one was at 91 miles an hour, Darren. I think he, like you said, I think he just splits his fingers ever so slightly and just throws it like a fastball.
You know what's interesting? How many shortstops, Gracie, do you see start on the grass like that?
Not many anymore.
Did you used to? A little bit more?
I would play on the grass.
Broke his bat. It's dying in right center field, but it dies a happy death. Anytime a bat breaks like that, you know that it passes away happy when it delivers a base hit.
Doggone right. Rodrigo Lopez will get an opportunity to bunt. Right off the end of the bat it goes. But Chris Snyder, one thing we know about him, he is very strong. And even right off the end of the bat, safely it lands out there in right center field. And an opportunity here for Rodrigo Lopez to help himself with a bunt.
Chris needed that. He was 0 for 6 with a walk in the stop in San Diego. Here is Rodrigo.
Now you want to bunt this one. You hear me a lot of times, Darren, talk about you want to bunt the ball firmly to the third baseman. Not this time. That's with first and second. With runner on first, you want to bunt this ball right at Albert Pujols if you can. He's got to hold the runner on, so he is 90 feet away. As you can see, there he is right there. You want to bunt this ball right in there, and you should be just fine.
Well, Pujols takes a shot at Snyder as he was creeping in, and they get the lead runner there. What happened on that one?
Well, you ran into a very good first baseman, first and foremost, and looked like Chris Snyder, who doesn't run all that well, but it looked like, let's see if he got a decent jump. Yeah, he got a decent jump. It was just bunted a little too firmly, and Pujols, a former Gold Glover, ate it up. Great play.
So back to the top of the order, Rodrigo is on. And you can see Pujols telling him, I'm going to play behind the bag there.
So go ahead and steal it then, Rodrigo.
2 outs, looking to add on with some more 2-out noise. As that one
Rodrigo
trickles away. Rodrigo doesn't move up, Gracie.
He's in his happy place right there, huh?
Matt Williams resets the situation. Kirk Gibson, usually when he has all of his intense base running drills, pitchers aren't invited. They have to understand how to stay out of trouble on the base paths. The 1-0. 2-0 the count. Johnson batting leadoff. He has done that more really than any other position in his career, 147 times now. On base percentage of .345 in his career as a leadoff hitter. Those are his overall career numbers. He's been a better career hitter batting 7th or 8th, and that's just statistically speaking, as that one misses away. A patient at bat. And I guess, Gracie, the one thing we've learned about Johnson is that he will put a patient at bat on.
He's laid off 3 very close pitches, and he's 3-0 now. Making Brad Penny work a little bit. Boy, if you can just lay off those close ones, what a difference that makes. Now on 3-1. He's hoping to get a fastball somewhere in the middle of the plate. And if he gets it, Darren, man, go ahead and try to hit it in the pool.
All right, so let's watch that.
The Ride Now pool area.
Outside, ball 4. So Johnson with a walk, and there he goes again. That one a couple of inches outside. So now Stephen Drew. Drew picked on a breaking ball back in the first inning and shot it the other way. It was a beautiful piece of hitting. Stephen had 7 hits on the road trip, a couple of doubles, a homer, 3 walks as well. Has also boasted a 5-game hitting streak in this early season.
He's going to have to hit something, a long single or a double, to score Rodrigo Lopez from second base. Rodrigo doesn't run all that well. So let's see if Stephen Drew can add on here. Well, it's a good change up there. Darted him down and away. Right over the top goes Drew. Good pitch.
Oh, and 1 the count. Two to nothing the score. Trying to add on. Albert Pujols due up 3rd in the next inning. As that one misses in. 1-1 the count. Drew, the pride of Florida State. Only 7 years old, and a couple of years ago, those 76 extra base hits, that number down to 53 last year. Nice job by Molina. 2-1 the count. I'm many better now with regard to playing that position in the game than Yadier Molina.
Beautiful block. That's as good as you can do it right there by Molina. Really used his feet nicely, moved him nicely, and just absolutely.
Bouncing ball to the right side. Big block, keeps the inning just where he wants it. Drew on a ball that pulls the string, rolls out. Albert due up next inning. won't burn up your wallet. And by Blimpie, America's Sub Shop. Glad to have you back at Chase Field. Arizona leads it by a score of 2-0. Rodrigo Lopez is completing his warm-up tosses. We mentioned Lopez breaking in with the San Diego Padres in 2000. He did his best work in the American League Eastern Division in Baltimore. And Joe Torre remembering him as an opposing pitcher, saying, simply put, those teams I managed in New York, those offensive teams, eventually we'd get to just about everyone, and we would get to Rodrigo, but he always made us earn it later in the game. Not those Yankees.
What's going on there?
There you go. Not the Yankees.
Okay. I like that shirt.
He was 3 times in the Eastern Division of the American League. An opening day starter for Baltimore in 03, in 05, and in 06. Drops a breaking ball in there to Skip Schumacher for strike 1.
Beautifully done there.
The not Yankees. The 0-1. No balls and 2 strikes to count.
Same story here. Nearly Groundhog Day here for Rodrigo Lopez. On Skip Schumacher, an 0-2 count. He made a mistake and just threw a fat fastball right down the middle to Schumacher, and he ripped it into left field for a base hit. Let's see what he throws this time, 0-2.
Snyder spreads out and sets up away.
Just missed.
Nearly got that corner.
You think that might have been a waste pitch that he accidentally threw on the plate?
Let's watch where Chris sets up. The offense moves the defense around, and the defense on a breaking ball is set up perfectly, and a nice job there. He executed a 2-strike pitch that time. And so 1 away for Ryan Ludwig. Ludwig, another guy that did his time in the American League. As you can see, Schumacher getting settled back in and didn't do good work. You look at his numbers with Texas and Cleveland, hit just .237. On base plus slug of just .700. Well, since coming to St. Louis in 07, it all changed.
Man, did it ever.
It's a funny thing in the game. You probably look back on teammates that you had along the way where it was just suddenly a fit.
Sure.
They weren't great on one team, but they just fit in better on your team. Ludwig's that guy. High pop, right side, an 89-mile-an-hour fastball just beat him. Let's go back to the last at bat for Albert Pujols. He is now 0 for 6 against Lopez career.
Fastball in, and then miss. Miss with a changeup. This is the one he got away with, the hanging breaking ball. And then the final pitch was smoked, but right at Chris Young. And then everything went haywire.
Settles into the back of the batter's box. And the first pitch is a fastball high and away. 1-0 the count to Albert Pujols. I would imagine you can expect a much more patient at bat this time. He was, for Albert, overly aggressive last time.
Yeah, he had a couple of fellas on base and nobody out.
Our Amica Insurance Hit Zone. $10 going to the Boys and Girls Club of Metropolitan Phoenix for every hit for the Diamondbacks to the end of the season. A lot of red. The 2-0. Big swing on 2-0. Fouled it off. 2-1 the count.
He tried to get his team a run closer there, and Chris Snyder paid the price. So you want to be a big league catcher. Bang.
Rookie of the Year. 3 times the MVP. The 2-1. Good pitch, diving down and in. Looked like he pulled the string on him. 2-2.
Yeah, that's the inside changeup right there. You can see it almost like the Vulcan grip for all you Star Trek fans.
That is another swing and miss, by the way. As that one is low. 3-2 the count to Pujols. Now 30 years old, Pujols. A career .334 hitter at 30, 1,127 RBIs. Buried that fastball in. It's a fair ball.
It is a fair ball. They're calling it a foul ball.
Oh, did it get a piece of him? It hovered the line.
Marty Foster, the home plate umpire, made the call. This ball almost hit him in the chest. Oh. Got him right off his back leg. You don't see Albert take many swings like that. Ow!
Five home runs thus far this season. The 3-2. And that is ball 4. Pujols draws the walk. Gets used to doing that, does Albert. His on base percentage at .421. And now Matt Holliday. Matt flied to center field back in the first inning. Struck a pitch away very well and drove it into the right center field gap, but there to make the play was Young. Matt went 3 for 3 yesterday. You can see the difference so far with runners on.
Nice pitch right on the outside corner to jump ahead.
That 3 for 3 that he enjoyed yesterday snapped a career worst 0 for 16 streak.
Able to just check it up. Tried to climb the ladder on it, tried to get him to chase something up around the letters.
1-1 to count. Solid and sound mechanics for the veteran right-hander. Last year tried to work his way back to the big leagues in Philadelphia and struggled in doing so. Breaking ball stays high and in. There's a little move in his delivery to the plate that has a hint of Greg Maddux to it. That pulling of the glove out early, that double tap of the glove. Greg used to do that. And in the windup, it's even more prevalent.
Here we go again. Get a right-hander, doesn't throw hard.
Nope.
Poor man's Greg Maddux. There it is. Andrew Good. All over again.
Andrew Good. The 2-1. Ooh, a change.
That one had a little Greg Maddux to it.
A Maddux-like change, if you will,
That's it for that. No more.
Boy, you can see the similarities.
That's where the comparisons end. Nope. Rodrigo's not going to win 350 games.
Nor does he tell you he will.
Terrific pitcher. Not like Greg Maddux.
Just a little move in the mechanics.
Yep.
I think that's all we were saying.
Really nothing like it.
2-2. Shot the other way. What a piece of hitting by Holliday. You mentioned his foul line to foul line play. Upton gets it back to the cutoff man. And on a easy throw home, Pujols is stopped. A
Great
double, but
job
that's all.
By Justin Upton on the carom out there to save a run. Hustling hard to the right field line. This ball is smoked. Tried to sneak a fastball by Holliday, ripped down the right field line. Justin does a great job of hustling hard over and getting the carom, guessing right where it's going to bounce. He's right there and hits the cutoff man. That's the most important thing right there. And then Jose Oquendo, the third base coach for the Cardinals, he read that throw. He saw it was going to hit the cutoff man, and he had to stop Albert Pujols. Very good job right there by Justin Upton.
So it has to stop now with regard to the base runners. Runners on second and third. Upton did his part. Lopez has to pitch in. You heard Justin before the game. We sat down with him for quite some time. The quick thought you heard was on his teammates and his bullpen struggling. He talked about his defense. And he simply said, I have so much to learn from Bo Porter, but I am much better defensively than I was in the past. And it's thanks to Bo and his focus.
Yeah, keeping his concentration. And all of a sudden, Rodrigo's starting to get nitpicky out there a little bit. And he sits in a 2-0 count now to Colby Rasmus. Been a struggle this year for him, but he's still a very dangerous, talented young hitter.
Alabama boy, first round pick back in 2005. As he lifts that one down the line and into the seats. 3 long balls this year, so he has taken advantage of some mistakes. And the struggles in the batting average, he's struggling nowhere else. His on-base percentage, .366, the 3 home runs. And his 24 home runs in a single season in high school, an Alabama state record, passing a guy I think you've heard of because Bo knows state records. The 2-1. Bo Jackson, 2-2 the count.
And a beauty right there to the outside corner.
Lopez trying to dig out of another hole. 60 pitches in the 3rd inning.
That's just way too many.
The 2-2. Bouncing ball, LaRoche lets it go because behind it to make the play is his old teammate Johnson, and he makes it. Nice job there by those two, and nice job by that man getting out of it. Got to get more efficient, though. And also being a part not only of the environment but helping your community and saving some money. That's the other part of it. We're honored to be joined by Don Robinson, the president of APS. Mr. Robinson, thanks for coming by.
It's good to see you, Darren, and it's Don.
This is
I'm over here, Don.
Hi, Mark.
Good to see you too. Good to see you. Thank you.
This is a big week for you guys. I mean, you tie in, you work with the team. First of all, explain the history of that relationship and your hopes and excitement for this week.
We've been involved with the Diamondbacks since year one, and we're happy to have them in town. They're a great asset to the community, to downtown Phoenix. We've been working, with them. Last year we had the Green Week, and this week we're doing the Green Series at the end of the week with the Phillies. We're hoping everybody comes out. Lots of opportunities to see things. We're going to have renewable power the ballpark all through the weekend.
Really?
We're going to have giveaways of compact fluorescent light bulbs in different sections. We're going to have people around the ballpark, energy experts who are willing to help customers with their energy needs.
Some of the stuff going on in the Green Series with the Phils coming to town. D-backs will be purchasing green energy, as you mentioned. Now, if Gracie wanted to be a little bit more efficient and visit APS.com, what would he learn on the website on APS.com?
He would learn we have a variety of different programs that go from costing him nothing to costing a great deal. In terms of rebates, he gets a great deal of rebates. He spends a lot of money. We'll pick up old refrigerators as long as they work, and we'll pay you $30 for doing it. You don't have to pay anything.
He's feeling left out.
You're feeling left out.
Can you look at me when you're talking about me, please?
Well, he was asking me about you, so.
Darren's a ball hog.
Okay, well, let's have the discussion now. If you want to have us come out and do an energy audit of your home,
I would love.
$99.
Okay, for $99, I can have you come out And
we will
like
check out
a home inspection, something to that effect.
We will have a home inspection. We will look at all of the places you could have leakage, places that you could be losing money. We will give you a computer printout of all of the areas, and we will give you a list of the programs that we have available that will help you correct those areas.
Done.
Great.
Ask him about, since you need all the attention, ask him about your pool, how important
What
it
about
is.
my swimming pool, Don?
We just have a brand new program that started this month that will give you rebates on new high-efficiency pool pumps that will save about 80% of the energy use that your current pool pump is using.
Awesome.
In addition, we have seasonal timers that you can put on your pool, and it will not only turn the pool on and off, but will adjust the time necessary based on the time of year it
My
is.
pool is a money pit. It's killing me.
See? So this is the kind of
Yes,
stuff you can do.
I need this.
Now,
Absolutely.
The one thing I learned when I visited Gracie's house, I've only been invited once, is that he has a terrible ice maker. His refrigerator's about to be done. What can he do about his old refrigerator?
It is awful.
Well, number one, get a new refrigerator because it'll be 2 to 3 times more efficient, so you'll save a lot of money there.
By getting a new refrigerator?
By getting a new refrigerator.
Well, it's expensive.
Not when you look at savings. A refrigerator uses about 20% of the energy you use in your home.
No kidding.
No kidding. A lot of money tied up in your refrigerator. So if you can save 20, 30% on it, you're going to do really well.
You're going to
okay? And you can you can call us up. We will come and pick up the old refrigerator, and we'll pay you $30 for it.
That's the key.
I got to hold out for 50.
So you can hold out, but you won't get it.
You won't get it.
Okay. 30 is a much better deal than you're going to get anyplace else.
I like it.
That one has popped up. Now explain to him about, this is what you guys taught me when you came to my home last year. Something as simple as changing your light bulbs out.
Yeah, if you change your light bulbs out and use compact fluorescent light bulbs, which we will get you a discount on, so instead of costing you $2, they will only cost you $1.
Thank you.
And
Now
they will last darn near forever. They will last for a very long time, and they use a lot less energy than your existing light bulbs. So you're going to save a lot of money on that as well.
I blow out light bulbs all the time, too. Tired of it.
And there's the one for you to look at. You can have that.
You're going to take me a look-see right now.
First pitch to Mark Reynolds is away. There he goes. See how fast he gets it out of there.
Probably not as fast as you do.
It is a test. So far, you're failing. There you go. Take it home.
And that'll last darn near forever.
That'll last a number of years.
No kidding.
No
That's
kidding.
Great.
And it'll use a lot less energy. So you're saving yourself money and you're saving the
I'm
environment.
going to plug this in over here near my little book over here. This is great. Thank you, Don.
You're welcome.
I appreciate it.
Happy to help.
The 1-1 pitch to Mark Reynolds is right down the middle, 1-2. And he can pick the plan that works best for him on APS.com, right?
He absolutely can. It has all of the various programs we have, whether you're looking for pool pumps, timers, high-efficiency air conditioners, refrigerator programs. They're all on there.
So visit it, Gracie.
I'm going to.
And it's not hard, APS.com.
I can even spell that, can't
See?
You and me both, so.
So a great partnership between these two teams. Gracie's going to have his new refrigerator. You're going to get your pool more efficient.
I'm going to get my pool more efficient, my refrigerator. I'm going to get these new
compact fluorescent
lifelong lasting. Excuse me?
Compact fluorescent light bulbs.
Compact fluorescent light bulbs.
CFLs for short.
CFLs. That's big league. CFLs.
There you go.
2-2 the count. And Penny, tired of waiting. So now that I've helped you out with all of this, can I come over to your house?
No.
No. Okay.
Don't forget the energy audit for $99.
You have to get an energy audit.
I think I'm going to do that.
How did yours work?
It worked out that I, needed to get some ductwork patched up. You know, they shine something, Gracie, up on the wall.
Right.
And you can see if your ducts for your air conditioner are leaking.
I don't have any ducts.
Not the animal.
Oh, DUCTS.
That's
Gotcha.
exactly right.
Yeah. Gotcha. Like
that.
ducts.
There you go.
Like that.
Right.
Now you would see if air was leaking out, and it was
Mallards
wasteful.
and that kind of stuff. All right.
We're joined by Don Robinson, APS president up here, the Green Series, as that is swung on and missed. Well, thank you, Mr. Robinson, or
Thank
Don,
you so
as you
much,
said.
Don.
My
I
pleasure.
appreciate
Thank
it.
you very much.
Thanks for getting Gracie back on track.
Good to see
Somebody
you.
had to do it.
Oh, boy.
We just don't know if we like him touching our equipment. You know, you never know what he might get a shot of. He was out at the field trip days today with local schools visiting. And he was putting this trivia question together. This comes from Baxter's office and his support staff. Name the 4 players with the most hits since 2000 in the National League.
Since 2000. Okay. I like this one. I like this one a lot. Good question.
What do we say? We thinking National League, and we have to obviously, as Lopez digs in, have to start with Albert, correct?
Albert has to be probably top of the list.
National League now, not the American
Derek
League, not
Jeter.
Yankees. No, not Yankees. The 1-0 to Felipe Lopez, 1-1 the count as he lifts that one into the
Ichiro.
seat. Again, not
Ichiro,
the American
Jeter.
League.
Oh, okay. Not Mark McGwire.
1-1 the count. Bouncing ball. Drew is there. Behind the bag at second and in time for the out. So Lopez is erased. He was walked after stealing a base stranded back in the second inning. By the way, nice job with that interview with Mr. Robinson.
Thank you.
You got yourself all straightened out, didn't you?
Once you allowed him to speak to me once in a while, I really started enjoying Don a lot more. Nice man.
Well,
very helpful. Honestly, all baloney aside, that's very important.
Oh,
very
you bet.
Helpful information.
There's no doubt about it. I had one of those energy audits last year. Steven can't get there. Molina does not run well at all, like all the Molina brothers, so even a glove on it would have given him a chance, but he could not get there. I want to remind everyone, the pool suite is the perfect place to entertain clients, enjoy a family outing, or throw an unforgettable birthday party. Pool dates are still available for the Dodgers, the Cubs, and the Giants. And as a special offer, if you call tonight to reserve a pool suite, you will get an autographed Justin Upton jersey. 602-462-4794. dbacks.com/pool. Pick up your chance to reserve the pool suite, and you get the added bonus of the Justin jersey. But you have to call now. 462-4794. Be a little kid again. Swim at the ballpark.
Gotta get that hat on right. We'll work on it, Pops.
Look at that smile, those cheeks. He's loving it. The 1-0. That one is up, and it is in. 2-0 the count to Brendan Ryan. Ryan walked back in the second inning. Young, very shallow in the outfield for Ryan. Bouncing ball, it's out to Young. And a base hit, so back to back. And again for Rodrigo Lopez.
I think he just feels comfortable with a couple base runners.
Yeah. Well, that's been every inning. Jose Akendo will come down and chat with Brad Penny about the situation. While they do, I have a quick guess on our trivia question. How about Todd Helton?
Well, it's good to see Darren is back to going to his computer. Now, folks, been a year, I know.
Penny squares the bunt. Fouls that one off at the plate. 0-1 the count. Diamondbacks lead it 2-0. Mark Reynolds drove in a pair in the first inning. And I just answered that question with my own knowledge.
So you've got the 4 players that have had the most hits since 2000. And it's Albert Pujols, Todd Helton so far, right?
So far.
Okay.
Reynolds ready to play that bunt again. 0-1 the count. LaRoche way in at first, and I mean way in. Bunts that one.
Very good bunt. Excellent bunt by Brad Penny.
Well, he died that one, just left it in there, no man's land.
As you said, he just deadened it right out there perfectly. LaRoche comes to the third base side of the field and makes the play, but a successful sacrifice. Helping himself there is Brad Penny. That's just a gorgeous bunt. As you said, deadened it right in front of the mound. 2 away here, second and third.
2 more runners on. It's been at least 2 every inning. Into the seats it goes. Threw him a slider down and into Skip Schumacher. How about Juan Pierre? 0-1 the count. 2-0 the Diamondbacks leading.
Yeah, he's cheating again, folks. Hang in there with him.
The 0-1. In on the hands, and he gets it done again.
2 more base runners.
He gets out of it. Jimmy Rollins. Yeah, that is a fabulous trivia question. Being accused, my partner's out of the booth getting a soda right now, but being accused of cheating, I am not. Our AT&T trivia question. In the whoa, wait a minute now. Wait a minute. Wait, come on now. I off the top of my head, certainly didn't get that. The 4 players with the most hits since 2000, Helton, Pujols, Pierre, and Rollins. Again, just doing research. This is just, just
right
happened
off
to
the
be.
top of your head, huh? Sure, there it is, folks. There it is. And he happened to get them all right in order. That's his computer screen, and that's what you guys get on the trivia questions every single night.
Anyway, Chris Young leads it off.
Very well done.
Thought about it, good idea, didn't execute it. These Diamondbacks for the last couple of seasons have been in the bottom third of Major League Baseball in bunts for base hits. They've got a lot of speed, but they haven't bunted themselves on very much.
Yeah, these are guys like Chris Young that didn't do much bunting in the minor leagues. They got here by slugging baseballs, not bunting them, so they've really tried to work hard on improving their bunting. And they've tried them, but they're usually foul balls.
Pitch is low, 1-1 the count. Young popped up to the second baseman back in the first inning. 2 for 15 in his career against Penny. Brad, in this ballpark, you know, much like Dan Herron scoffs at the fact that this is a tough place to pitch because he pitches so well here, Penny's even a step better, albeit in a handful of starts as that one has popped up. Brad Penny in 5 starts in his quote-unquote hitter-friendly yard of Chase Field, an ERA of 1.88.
Exactly. If you, the mound is still 60 feet 6 inches like it is any other place, and if you execute your pitches, you're going to throw well. I watched Randy Johnson win Cy Young Awards throwing half his games in this ballpark. Kurt Schilling.
Ooh, they like that. They remember that man that you're speaking of as well.
Who's wearing number 51? Anybody? I don't think so.
1-2 the count. Bouncing ball out toward third. To his left, Felipe Lopez. And Albert goes down to a knee to play that one, but Young is erased and out on the ground. Pujols smiles over at Lopez across the diamond as he maybe threw him a two-seamer or a cut fastball. We talked about the relationship between those two. Pujols would even check on Lopez when he was here. When he was playing here, he'd get calls from Albert keeping an eye on it. A couple of winters ago, their families vacationed together. They became fast friends. One and 0 the count to Parra. In place of that man and his on-base percentage will be missed. Pitches outside. 2-0 the count. They just hate it. But I guess you can't cry over spilt milk at this point.
It is what it is. Absolutely. Now you just work on getting better, getting together with your training staff and your strength coaches, and finding a way to get back on the field when those 15 days are up.
Yeah, maybe a touch more compassion for Connor just because of what he went through last year. It's the last thing he was thinking about was spending a single moment not playing in the ball games. 2-1 the count to Parra. Esmeralda Vasquez, by the way, replaces him on the roster, so the pitching staff gets deeper, goes to 13, and that is simply a byproduct for now of all the innings thrown by this bullpen and the successful but yet lack of innings thrown by the starting rotation.
Now that is a lot of pitchers to carry. Got him to chase another 3-1 fastball, almost a pitch out. It's amazing. Parra twice now has taken some close pitches and then got to 3-1 and just, I mean, that's almost a pitch out. And got the swing.
Chris waits on deck, full count, 1 out. Dumps that one in the left, spoils the pitch away. He had been spoiling and spoiling. He's hustling on around. The throw in is not in time, and he nearly slid by, but he didn't. Against Matt Holliday, he took a chance, and Parra this time earned himself an extra base hit.
Hey, it's very interesting. You know, this is ball 4 as well. That ball is well off the plate, but he just pokes it. And Matt Holliday comes up with it clean, makes a strong throw in, but Parra running hard all the way, thinking 2 right out of the box, and the hook slide. Keep that thumb on there. Attaboy, Gerardo. And a 1-out base runner.
And so trying to add on to help in the cause is Chris Snyder. Single, didn't hit it hard, but dropped one in there. A broken bat single back in the second inning. The job of hitting 8th. Kind of a unique and challenging spot to be, isn't it?
I'm glad I never really had to do it.
You get pitchers that'll pitch wide. When do you open up your zone? When do you take those pitches? Bouncing ball up the ladder. Lopez bobbles, recovers, the throw. Albert picks up his buddy there. And so the runner stays put. What a dig by Pujols.
Lopez goes up the ladder. It squirts out. Now it's time to throw it across the diamond. Really not a very difficult pitch there, but he makes it look easy. He is a weapon defensively, offensively.
Two to nothing the score. Now Lopez. So if anything, that double by Parra gets the lineup to turn itself back over. Shutout baseball tonight for Rodrigo, but it has been, well, not easy at all. He has had base runners in every inning. He has thrown 72 pitches in 4 innings. And he has stranded 7 on base. I would imagine tonight the finish line goes a little bit further than 100 pitches.
It may have to. You were there for the weekend series in San Diego, and you know more than I do what pitchers are probably going to be counted on tonight and what ones aren't. Is that one strike 2 right at the kneecaps? It's a situation now where somebody out there, or you hope a couple or 3 guys take this as a challenge, take the bull by the horns. You give me the baseball, and I'll go out and get you some outs, period. Instead of hoping that their name doesn't get called. When the phone rings, they don't shudder. Strike 3. So Rodrigo will go back to the pitcher's mound, though.
You bet. You hope he stays there for at least a couple of more innings. How about, I don't know, a couple 3? Rodrigo Lopez walking that tightrope. Houdini, however you want to put it, with regard to what we got used to seeing in a Levo Hernandez a couple of years back. He might get into trouble, Gracie, but he got out of it every time so far.
Yeah, two base runners in every inning so far. But the bottom line, none of those base runners have touched home plate yet, as he always finds a way to make a good pitch with a couple runners on and 2 outs. I like that pitch right there. Just eat him up with a fastball, jamming, easy ground ball to first. However, you don't want to make too much of a living doing that. A 1-2-3 inning wouldn't be a bad thing.
You wish it was just that easy. He needs one. Will he get one? Because he has Ryan Ludwig, Albert Pujols, and Matt Holliday. So if he gets it now, he really will have earned it. See if he can be a cool customer. The ice cream has the IC going. Ice cream and icy. That's a brain freeze.
Combo. Yes. You will hear him scream shortly.
What would you like? Well, ice cream with an icy chaser. The 1-0. Pitch is low. We remember these Cardinals from a year ago. The Phillies will do the same. It's not a free swinging bunch. If you will beat them, you will earn it. It will make you grind through it.
Good pitch there, outside corner. Ludwig didn't think so. It was a pretty good pitch.
That's the way Tony La Russa wants it, and though he was a home run hitter, a guy that is a great teacher of hitting, and Mark McGwire wants it the same way as well. That kind of patience. 3-1 the count. He talks all the time about balance. So does he.
Well, every good hitter is right on balance. Their tempo's good. Good pitch there.
3-2 the count. 77 pitches as he works here in the 5th inning. Pitched here at Chase Field on April the 9th. Pitched very effectively. 6 innings, 5 strikeouts, 1 run allowed, a 9-1 win over the Pirates. Outside, he walked him. Albert Pujols to the plate. Justin Upton has never spoken at length with Albert. What would he ask him if he could?
He hits in the 3-hole where, you know, you don't know what you're going to get, what kind of pitches you're going to get. A lot of times pitchers don't want to pitch to you. And, you know, I've been in that situation where I'm trying to figure out, you know, what to do when these guys aren't wanting to throw me pitches. And it's just amazing to me how he capitalizes on the mistakes, even when guys aren't trying to pitch to him. And I really like to ask him how he stays ready to hit when no one's throwing him anything to hit.
How he stays ready to hit when no one's throwing him at a point anything to hit.
Well, you just have to mentally tell yourself to be ready. Even if you think you're going to get pitched on, you don't think that way. You get up there and you think, if he makes a mistake, I'm going to pound it. So far, Rodrigo Lopez hasn't made a mistake yet. 0-2, 2 great pitches to jump ahead. But you can't go up there and just think, okay, they're pitching around me. You have to go up there with the thought of they're going to pitch to me, they're going to attack me, and if I get a mistake, I'm going to make you pay.
The 0-2. Chases up and away, a strikeout on 3 pitches of Albert Pujols, who now is 0-for-7 in his career against Lopez. He got a swing and a miss.
Yeah, he sure did. And you get the breaking ball for strike 1. A beauty. Look at this thing come right back to the outside corner for strike 2. And then he gets him to chase it up and away. Rodrigo likes to climb the ladder. We've been talking about the lack of swings and misses tonight. There's been plenty tonight from Rodrigo.
More tonight than he had in the other 2 starts combined. Holiday up and in. That is our Chaz Roberts air conditioning cool play. It's always cool, and it's rare when one of his swings cools off the ballpark at all. He's grinding it in that dugout. Now how about a nice little efficient 2-hopper to short here? If we could be greedy.
Yeah, I mean, Lopez has been successful, and he's been good tonight, but efficient wouldn't be one of the words I would use as far as his pitch count. But 2 outs with 1 pitch, that would make Don Robinson very happy.
Instead, it's belted deep left field. That one's gone. It got out of here immediately. 2-2 is the score. Holiday's 4th of the season. He was 0-for-16 a couple of days ago. Had a 3-hit night last night. There, he just picked up his teammate, as you just saw.
A lot of Cardinal fans here tonight. This is a fastball running in. Just pulls his hands in nicely and just drills it a long ways down the left field line. What? You can hang some laundry on that rope. Oh, what a hitter. What a dangerous lineup this can be.
So right back to work.
Might have been a case where maybe Rodrigo exhaled a little bit after retiring Pujols on 3 pitches. Well, you just can't do it because now another one headed out to left center. But Parra's going to run it down for the 2nd out. I think this guy just needs to be in the National League, Darren. Things didn't happen for him, and I'm talking about Matt Holliday. Things didn't go too well for him in Oakland last year. But boy, he came back to the National League, and he started hitting like he did when he was the Rockies. MVP caliber player.
Breaking ball and strike one to Felipe Lopez. He's fun to watch hit. Talking about Holliday and the way that he can hit it so hard with a lot of distance all over the ballpark. And we praise the guy that hits ahead of him just because of the longevity and the success. It's a step above Holliday, but not as if it's 3 or 4 steps above.
No.
That pitch is high. 1-2 the count. And so you have to deal with them in succession. And that man loves getting that ink pen out and writing them in.
Every single day. That's a good feeling, isn't it?
And I'm sure in his case, he types it in. He's not.
Yeah, he's meticulous.
He's not writing it in pencil. There will be no erasing.
And it's also nice if you're Tony La Russa that you can write Penny, Wainwright, Carpenter in your starting rotation.
Certainly the favorites in the Central. Milwaukee might have some offense for you. But the Cardinals, the best all-around team. Felipe shoots that one into left center field. And it is a base hit. Hey, by the way, don't forget about our Triple Threat Tuesday, the TV lineup. All around you, wherever you look, on Fox Sports Arizona or Fox Sports Arizona Plus. It's the Coyotes and Red Wings. It's Game 4. It's the Suns and the Blazers, of course, a little bit later. And then, of course, on Fox Sports Arizona Plus, 108 on Cox Cable, 652 on DirecTV, 453 on Dish. It's the Diamondbacks and the Cardinals. Great day to be a sports fan. In the state of Arizona. Here's Yadier Molina. Pitch is low. Well, so now, as he works here with a tie game, 90 pitches in the 5th inning. Dandy breaking ball.
He's got a pretty good breaking ball today. He's using it a lot to get ahead of hitters. He's throwing it for a lot of called strikes.
Cardinals have stranded 7, Arizona 4. Runner goes, throw down is not in time. For Felipe Lopez, his 2nd stolen base of the ball game. First 2 of the year as well.
Well, he looks in. I think the Cardinals may have gotten a break here. Oh, yeah, my goodness. Yeah, he's out. Ed Hickox, second base umpire. On the call there. You see the tag right there. But Stephen Drew didn't argue. And that's the thing. Well, that's Kelly Johnson. That's Kelly Johnson on the tag. Kelly Johnson didn't argue. And if you're A.J. Hinch, if your guy doesn't argue out there, he must have agreed with the call.
Ground ball out to Steven. With Molina running, takes his time, and in time for the out. 2 big runs in the inning. The 4th home run of the season off the bat of Matt Holliday. And we start over as we are tied at 2 here at Chase Field. Cardinals and Diamondbacks. Glad to have you back at the ballpark. We're locked up at 2. Now, what is Kachinko? Well, you find out and you can learn. You can play right here at Chase Field by going to the interactive kiosk near Section 111 during the Diamondbacks regular season home games. Our good friends with Gila River Casinos. I get out to that new Shula Steakhouse over at the Wild Horse Pass Casino. Get out there, and I might forget my wallet if Gracie goes with me. And here's Kelly Johnson. But,
I'm used to that.
Big old steak. I'll let you pick out the wine since you're upper brow like that. I don't know how to pick the kind with the screw-off caps.
That's okay.
Want to know the count.
Make some good ripple that you screw off the cap.
That's a good point. To Kelly Johnson. Now, you did make a good point about Johnson. And he had maybe displeasure with the call a moment ago, but he just didn't show it. And in that situation, you're right. I mean, what is a manager to do?
Yeah, for the folks at home, gosh, dog it, why wouldn't AJ come out and argue that? Well, if you don't get an argument from your player, then you're assuming that the umpire got the call right.
Kelly walked and grounded out to short. Pops that one up. Beat him with a high fastball. Matt Holliday is there. And by the line, he makes the play for the out. So a fly out, a ground out, and a walk tonight for Johnson. Quest high-speed internet, high-speed pitch. Our good friends and partners with Quest. Not surprised there to see Penny reaching 97 miles an hour. By the way, the Diamondbacks and their starting pitchers, that's the other area where the pitchers may have to help out, not the bullpen, but the catchers. That's 17 stolen bases against the Diamondbacks this year with the 2 from Lopez and just 1 thrown out. Part of that responsibility rests with the pitchers as well.
Oh, no question.
Steven Singleton scored back in the first inning. If you're just joining us, it was Steven Single. It was Adam LaRoche's ground rule double, but then Mark Reynolds' 2-out double that put the Diamondbacks on top. He broke his bat up the ladder, can't make the play, and so Drew with a couple of hits in the ball game.
He got a fastball in on his fist, but we've seen it a few times now. Some balls in on the fist, but these guys just strong enough to get it out over the infield. And man, look at that javelin going back to the backstop. That maple bat busting. Dangerous weapon. Always happy to see one less maple bat in the world. Use that ash.
You like that, dude?
Yeah, less dangerous.
Well,
it won't hurt a fan or hurt another player. It'll fracture. It won't explode like that. It'll become a dangerous weapon.
So you hope soon that an ash bat, to quote you in a word you love to use, that ash bats are indigenous to Major League dugouts.
I agree. Yes, they should be indigenous to
Here's
Major League
Justin.
dugouts. Not those terrible maple bats.
You need to be more honest with your feelings next time. Upton takes low and in. Justin hitless in his last 7 at bats with 4 strikeouts. And the count 1-0.
Now
2-2 our score.
Let's see if the Diamondbacks can answer the 2 runs that the Cardinals put up. Lickety split on a home run by Holliday to tie the game up. See if maybe the Diamondbacks are thinking putting runners in motion. Brad Penny, since that first inning, really hadn't given up much at all.
We were talking about the Diamondbacks and their scuffles throwing out base runners. As Steven is out there, 50% thrown out by the Cardinals. As that is a strike. To take it a step further, there have only been 8 attempts all year long against St. Louis. 4 have been successful, 4 thrown out. In comparison, as we mentioned, to the 18 attempts against the Diamondbacks.
What is so paramount for Tony La Russa, he just wants to stop the opposing running game. He's not going to get a guy out there that doesn't hold runners on well. He's not going to get a guy behind the plate that doesn't throw well.
Justin, a screamer on a line, Drew right back. Justin off the end of the bat there. Hit it hard, but right at Ryan. So there are 2 outs for Adam LaRoche. You know, we were wondering about LaRoche and maybe missing a couple of days when he was just starting to heat up. He proved that he was just fine with a double back in the first inning. So take a look at our Amica Insurance hit zone for LaRoche here in just a moment as he digs in. Those are the homers from a season ago. He's got a runner out there in Stephen Drew. They play him to pull in the infield. Boy, look at this. Skip Schumacher is a good 4 firm steps onto the grass. Second baseman. We mentioned it earlier. Brendan Ryan, when he is dealing with a right-handed hitter, will step back onto the grass 3 or 4 steps. And the outfield very deep. And that just caught the corner of my eye. Look at the right fielder Ludwig there.
My goodness. He is way back there. You see Schumacher, the second baseman. You're never going to see somebody way back there on a hitter that can run. It's usually going to be a guy that's just has average at best speed.
Buried a fastball in. Good pitch. No balls and 2 strikes to count. Dave Duncan, Tony La Russa. As the game is adapted and the way that people prepare for the game, they have certainly adapted with the game. And one of the things you see out there is positioning. The advent of spray charts, and you see more of those around baseball. You do see more defensive positioning. The 0-2. That one dives down and in. 1-2 the count. With that open stance, Adam will tell you the one thing that he battles more than anything is closing too fast and hard with his stride. Feeling that foot stomp down and everything too firm as he swings through the zone. He likes to feel like he's floating all in one motion. You would never teach that, though, would you?
It works for him.
Out front, when he first signed with the Braves, and by the way, the Braves, he makes it clear, the only team that would really show interest in him. And he didn't care what he got with regard to money. The only team that would show interest and let him play every day. Father Dave pitched in the big leagues for a long time. Adam pitched as well, and they wanted him to pitch. All the other teams in the Braves said, all right, we'll give you a look.
But the Braves wanted to make him a hitter.
That's exactly right. And then they wanted to change that stance right away. And he said, if you give me a month and I get off to a hot start, will you leave me alone? Will you be okay with it? Well, he still hits that one.
He's had himself a nice career in the big leagues. Still looking for that first round tripper of 2010. Boy, I feel like, why not now, Darren?
You ready?
Well, I'm ready, yeah.
All right. He had 25 of them last year. For every full season, it's about 26 of them. The 2-2.
There it is.
No, not that time. Let me tell you something, though. I love the enthusiasm, so keep that enthusiasm up at home. Adam has erased that time. Oh, baby. 2-2 the score, top of the 6th inning as Lopez gets closer to 100 pitches. At some point, the bullpen will have to take over. Our resident closer on the pre- and the post-game show is longtime Major League reliever Joe Borowski. Joe, talk about how those guys work together. Talk about right now kind of the mindset when you look at all those guys down there and maybe the pressure that they might feel with one another.
Well, that's sometimes you don't want them putting unneeded pressure on themselves. They got to go out there, hey, you're up here for a reason. You get guys out. You can't have self-doubt. You know you're going to be in the same situation tonight that you were in the past 4 games. It just works out that way. I remember closing and blowing a few games in a row, and sure enough, you're not going in a 3-run lead. You're going in a 1-run lead, and you're facing 3, 4, 5. So they just got to go out there, trust themselves. And, you know, the biggest thing that I noticed, they got to, you know, instead of trying to throw an 0-2 pitch on an 0-0 count, they got to go out there and attack the strike zone.
That's a good way of putting it. And Joe, as a guy that was a successful closer, but of course you blew a handful in your career. What's it feel like to go into a clubhouse after you've blown a game and having to look all your teammates right in the face and say, man, I'll get them the next time?
Worst feeling in the world. The biggest disappointment for me was not giving up my own runs. I remember giving up other people's runs was the worst feeling for me. So when I started to close, the worst feeling was this team battled the entire game to go into the 9th inning with the lead, and I just let this entire team down all by myself. But you know what? It was that fear of letting everyone down that drove me to be successful the next time out and not to linger on that negative thoughts, to go out there and try and pick up my team because I knew they were back there supporting me no matter what I did.
Longtime Major League reliever Joe Borowski. One final question for you, Joe. Is it sometimes as simple, like you say for a hitter, as a walk or a Texas leaguer? Is it sometimes as simple as getting out a tough batter once or twice in 2 days in a row that you get it rolling again? Is it just that simple?
I tell you what, for me, a lot of times I go out there and I'd be in the same situation, a 1-run lead, and I get 3 line drives at each different outfield position, and sometimes that turned the corner for me.
Joe, thanks for your insights.
Good
we'll
stuff,
have you
Joe.
and Brad
Right,
in the
guys.
post-game show. Well, that's a real treat to be able to get that perspective.
Yeah, it is. And I faced Joe, and Joe's one of those guys. Like he said, I might have failed you guys the night before, but I promise it's not going to happen again. And it was his fear of you being disappointed in him that drove him, and I love that.
Talking about that bullpen, and we will see it at some point for the Diamondbacks. What you hope, and so far it's happening in this inning, that Lopez can be somewhat efficient. That is pitch number 6 in this inning. He's got 2 outs already, 1-1 the count to Skip Schumacher. And this is when you do it. You've got 8, 9, and then you hope you can get 1. Do it again as he waits as long as he can. 1-2 the count to Skip Schumacher. Singled, flied out, and grounded out.
Lopez had a good breaking ball tonight. He's thrown it for a lot of strikes. He's had the Cardinals off balance. And it sets up his fastball in. Snyder wants a high fastball. He didn't get it, but he got it right at Gerardo Parra. Efficiency you want, Darren Sutton. Efficiency you get, my friend. 1, 2, 3 go the Cardinals in the top of the 6th.
And we'll see him in the 7th.
heading to the bottom of the sixth. D-backs against the Cardinals. Jody Jackson in the stands here with Steve Kerr, general manager of your Phoenix Suns. Suns started their playoff series with the Portland Trail Blazers last night. And Steve, you dropped this game, the first game, but we were just talking about it. It is only one game. What's the mindset right now?
Well, disappointed, obviously. We wanted to get off to a good start, but Portland's a great team, and they've been a tough matchup for us. So they set the tone, and now we've got to respond and come back and win tomorrow. And, it's a 7-game series. It's a long road.
You've been through so many playoff scenarios in your career as a player. How do you view, from your role where you sit now, what's your input as far as the team goes and with Alvin?
Well, it's important for the guys to remember that this is part of the process. You don't win in the playoffs by just sweeping everybody. That's not how it works. There's disappointment and there's loss, and then you have to adjust and you have to maintain your composure and fight back, and it's all part of it. So you just have to accept it and move on and try to get better the next time out.
So tonight, taking in a little bit of baseball, just get your mind off things, just kind of change the scenario right now?
Yeah, just trying to relax and here with some of the guys from our organization, and there's only so much you can do, and we were at practice today, and we've did a lot of things with the staff, just kind of trying to figure out what's the best course that we're going to take here in this series. And so Alvin and I met and we watched practice, and now it's time to relax a little bit and get ready for tomorrow.
All right, well, thanks so much, Steve, and best of luck tomorrow. And you can see Game 2, Trailblazers and Suns, on Fox Sports Arizona tomorrow night at 6:30 with the pregame.
Very good stuff. Best of luck to the Suns. Reynolds goes down on strikes. None too happy about that.
It's that change-up that dips out of the zone. Reynolds didn't think he went, but Gary Cedars from the first base umpire rung him up, much to his dismay.
So now Chris Young popped to second, grounded to third. Bouncing ball to short. First pitch swinging.
First pitch swinging. I don't mind the first pitch swing right there, Darren, because he got a fastball right down the middle. He just didn't hit it. I don't mind first pitch swings if it's a good pitch to hit. I mean, that is center cut right down the middle. He just didn't do anything with it. That's not like chasing a pitch up and out of the zone or something and popping it up. That was a good pitch to hit. He just missed it.
Arizona, through the first 2 weeks of the season, averaging 5.5 runs per game. They have seen that number dip a bit over the last couple of days, as that changeup is low. Hey, don't forget, every time a Diamondback hits a home run this season, Fulton Homes donates $150 to the Central Arizona Mountain Rescue Association. Up and away, 2-0 the count. Blaine Boyer, the first member of that bullpen, starting to get loose. Snyder waits on deck with 2 outs. Lopez's spot due up behind Snyder. And into left field. Easy chance, an easy inning for Penny. Yep, that's 3. You come on in, Matt.
New rule, Matt.
Come on. held at bay. The game changer, Albert Pujols, certainly a frozen rope, and a nice double play the hard way that time with Reynolds diving and tagging. That happened in the first inning. Then in the bottom half of the first, with 2 outs, and the Diamondbacks have done a lot of damage with 2 outs this year. A couple of runs cross the plate. Rodrigo Lopez getting Holiday. Rodrigo Lopez getting some defensive help behind him. Becoming a little bit more efficient. This hurt, though. This after the strikeout of Pujols, it was Holiday. He thought he might have been through the woods a bit, but Holiday, maybe a bit of an exhale, makes him pay. So that's where we stand. Our Blimpie game summary. Grab yourself a sandwich and enjoy the rest of the ball game with us and Blimpie. And he's back out there working. First pitch, fly ball. Ryan Ludwig is erased.
That's efficient.
Liking it so far.
Now, Mr. Pujols and Mr. Holiday going to try to reintroduce themselves here to Rodrigo Lopez. No success at all in the career of Albert Pujols off Rodrigo Lopez, which kind of makes you nervous because that means he's due.
I don't like this man due.
0 for 7 lifetime with a walk.
And a slow curveball is high. 1-0 the count to Albert. It's obvious when you think about it. You know the MVPs, you know the domination. But in this past decade, looks like he got on the side of a changeup there. In this past decade, that man won the Triple Crown. More home runs, more RBIs, and a better batting average than anyone else combined this past decade. Is that one is high and away? Again, it's obvious when you think about it. It's still incredible to say that a decade Triple Crown.
A decade of it. Swinging 3-0?
You bet.
He was, and he popped it straight up. Chris Snyder looks like he's going to have a play. He is.
What a break there.
Even the great ones, when you green light them 3-0, even the great ones can get themselves out. Let's see the pitches to get to 3-0. Just miss. Just miss. Missed by a lot, and then watch this one. Up and out of the zone. So instead of ball 4, even the best hitter in the game pops it up. That's called getting yourself out, and that's frustrating.
So it stays 2-2. Holiday takes a pitch over the outside corner. Off speed, Pujols.
You still have to get a strike when you're turned loose. 3-0. Albert knows that. I'm not going to sit here and tell Albert how to hit because he's just so fun to watch. But he'll tell you he got himself out, and right there popped up as well. Rodrigo Lopez mows through the Cardinal order. 2, 3, 4. Gone quickly. 7 innings for that man, only 2 runs. That's efficient.
Except for Quest D-backs Live. We'll talk about Connor Jackson, and I know you want to talk about Albert Pujols facing Rodrigo Lopez.
Yeah, we'll be breaking down Albert's ABs tonight, and I'll tell you why Rodrigo's had success against them.
That's
Join
coming
us
up
after the game.
After the game, should be great. Guys, back to you.
I like it. Joe's always got a little something for us to nibble on, but he never gives us a full bite.
He's a tease. He's just a tease.
There's Albert. By the way, Gracie, 15 pitches in the final 2 innings for Rodrigo Lopez, 15 in the 2 innings combined.
I thought he was brilliant. And you can sit here and say he made one bad pitch. I don't think it was a bad pitch that Matt Holliday hit out of the ballpark. It was an inside corner fastball, threw it where he wanted to. I thought he was brilliant tonight.
And you asked that of the starting pitchers. When we came on the air, you, with your experience in the big league, said that one way to help to remedy this, to help get a little better, is, you know what, be your own bullpen.
Be your own bullpen.
Go 7, go 8. Well, he battled efficiency early, but
at the end of the day, he had a terrific outing. Now his teammates need to go take care of him and find a way to scratch out a run or two and get him a win.
Bouncing ball, diving attempt, but into center field. It's a base hit past Schumacher. So Chris Snyder, as they had initially called Tony Abreu out, now you see this one more time.
Ripped right back up the middle, a fastball away, snide piece right over the top of the bag. That's what my partner likes to call him. And he gets the 7th started with a base hit. Augie Ojeda now has been called on instead of Tony Abreu, which means right now that the bunt is on. So they're going to give him an out here in this situation. I know you're a guy that likes to drive it in the gap.
I love driving it in the gap. I also love that. You know, those walks usually came when he wanted them to come, by the way.
Pitch around.
Yes. What a pleasant surprise he has been to this point.
And that's the most important thing. 7 innings. Give some of those guys down there a bit of a blow. Be your own bullpen. Well, he was especially the 6th and 7th. Just mowed through the middle of the order. Very nicely done.
So the pitch is low and away to Augie Ojeda, beginning to rebuild his career. That was his goal. He was nearly untouchable in spring training. Well, he has brought that into the big leagues. He battled it at Dodger Stadium, though his team won. And in the end, it's about, does your team win when you pitch?
I wouldn't mind seeing a hit and run right here. Lopez,
he's way in.
Right in the throat of Augie Ojeda. You got Pujols charging hard from first base. There's a lot of open holes, and you're going to get a fastball right here. Augie can handle the bat. Let's see if AJ's going to try something here, or if he's just going to play it straight up. No, he's bunting.
Right out to the mound. Penny turns and fires and gets Snyder. So they give the out and don't move the runner.
Yeah, firm bunt right back to the mound. That's just an easy play for Penny. An unsuccessful sacrifice.
So now Kelly Johnson. Let's see if he can pick up his mate. Johnson grounded to short. He walked. He flied to left field. Penny with 93 pitches. So he is just fine. And that pen, there are crickets walking around untouched in that Cardinals bullpen right now.
No need to. He's on top of his game right now. And after Kelly Johnson, looking for something you can drive, something in the middle of the plate. Colby Rasmus, the center fielder, playing very shallow. So if he gets something, he can poke over the head of Rasmus, and that also makes the gaps bigger when your center fielder plays shallow like that. That's where they say it in Cincinnati.
Very well said. Driving the runner back. Well, we know with the power that he has, and it'll surprise you at times because he puts patient at bats out there, and he's an on-base percentage guy, but he's here to drive it as well. He's been in the top 10 in slugging in the National League just about all year long. That's a second baseman, too. Big swing, but over the top of it. That looked like that split finger fastball.
Split that stayed up in the zone.
Just a little. Now that one acted almost as just a straight change without the dip of the dive.
That one just kind of hangs right in the middle of the plate, but just out in front of it was Kelly Johnson. He's quickly in an 0-2 hole. D-backs haven't tried anything on the base paths.
Augie takes his lead. Outside. Now that one had a lot of dip to it.
Haven't seen Brad Penny throw this many change-ups. It's been a pretty good pitch for him tonight, though. And when you can run it up there in the mid-90s and then you get that off-speed change-up, it's a pretty good weapon. One of the best in the business there, Dave Duncan, their pitching coach.
Infield in a few steps to 1-2, take, and another one. Yeah, he is.
Kind of his go-to pitch right now, isn't it?
It has been, and tracking how he's used it, and it's just been in 2 starts, but he's used it more this year. For whatever reason, he has felt it more, that smaller split-fingered fastball, which he uses as a changeup. See how he grips it in that glove and pushes it onto his leg. Dan Heron does the same thing with a wider grip. He drives him back to the bag. 2-2 the count. 3-game set, same 2 teams tomorrow night. See how he sets that up. Chris Carpenter, Edwin Jackson tomorrow.
Good matchup.
And we shared a little bit of our interview we had with Albert Pujols from a season ago from St. Louis, who want to join us tomorrow throughout the evening and the next couple of nights, as well as that great matchup. We'll hear from Albert tomorrow. Gracie and I will talk with him. The 2-2. Bouncing and a foul ball.
Another changeup. That's about 5 in a row he's thrown.
That really is.
And that's a couple he's left up in the middle of the zone around belt high. If you throw too many, Kelly Johnson's going to get a good look. I mean, this ball, that's center cut. Just still a little bit quick on it was Kelly Johnson, but he's seen about 4 or 5 in a row now. It might be time to go back to the fastball.
Maybe up. Let's see if he can get a chase. The 2-2.
He did go with the fastball. Kelly was right there. Fouled it straight back.
And they're making him work a little bit this inning. This is what a guy like Kelly Johnson can do. 6 pitches so far in this at-bat. Spoiled a fastball as he attacked him.
Usually a guy like Penny, after he shows you that fastball there, I think he feels like that changeup might be his out pitch, Darren. So you probably go right back to it.
Two and two.
He went with it again, and he missed with it. I got to send the runner here, Darren. I got to try to make something happen. You've done nothing since the first inning. I think right now you got to try to push the gas pedal a little bit. Force the issue. Put the pressure on the Cardinal defense. You've got a guy that handles the bat well. I say it's time to send the runner.
Runner does go. He pulls it. It's a base hit right field. Because the runner was on the move, the Diamondbacks have runners on first and third with 1 out.
Well, what an at-bat that was by Kelly Johnson. Just a terrific at-bat. He got the changeup, Darren. Probably threw him one too many, and he just hooked it. And with the runner going, Augie Ojeda easily gets into third base to set up Stephen Drew. Boy, that's a good at-bat. And I like A.J. Hinch sending the runner there. Got to force the issue a little bit.
Well, look, your offense failed you a moment ago. You have to attempt to make up for it. There's no doubt about it. Your bunt ability, you're taking a chance on giving them an out, and it cost you. Well, you have to roll the dice again. And so as the hard thrower Mott gets ready to go, Duncan will visit. Don't forget, by the way, get tickets today for this Saturday's game against the Phillies. You see, the first 15,000 fans will get a Justin Upton 09 All-Star bobblehead the first half of the two-piece set. Complete the collection with the Dan Heron 09 All-Star bobblehead on Saturday, June 12th. 602-462-4794 or visit dbacks.com look closely, /giveaways. Well, they bought some time there, didn't they?
They bought some time, but this is Penny's batter. And Stephen Drew's had a couple of hits tonight. So Stephen Drew an opportunity to give Rodrigo Lopez and his teammates the lead. All it takes is a fly ball now. Good speed at third and at first. There's that changeup again. He's really throwing a lot of them now, Darren.
The lefty, by the way, you saw there a moment ago with regard to the matchup, Trevor Miller just started throwing.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised Tony La Russa didn't have both barrels going, because you've got a lefty in Drew, a righty in Upton, and then a lefty in LaRoche. So maybe he just felt like Penny was his guy. Missed
Outside.
with a changeup.
When he gets that pitch up to 89, he's throwing it too hard.
I agree. And that's why it's staying up in the zone right now. It doesn't have that bite on it like it did early in the game. And, well, that's because he's thrown 104 pitches.
The 2-0. Outside. Fastball velocity dipping a bit. He jumped at the plate, too.
Now is a good time to give the 3-0 hit sign. Stephen Drew is a guy that's seen Penny well tonight. He's gotten a couple of base hits. This is an opportunity right now that I like giving the 3-0 green light. But you have to trust your hitter to get something he can handle, something in the strike zone. That would have been it, but he was taken.
He didn't like it. 3-1 the count. Coming into this outing, Brad Penny had 2 starts. He had given up just 1 earned run. Right away in the first inning, he gave up 2 earned runs. Came in with an ERA below 1. The 3-1. Bouncing ball, middle of the diamond. There's 1. There's 2. Fox Sports Arizona presents Diamondbacks baseball, brought to you by Southwest Airlines and by Your Valley Hyundai dealers. Proud sponsor of the 7th inning stretch with 7 models that get 30 miles per gallon or more. Hyundai is now the most fuel-efficient car maker in America. Glad to have you back at Chase Field, and immediately we are in the drama because it's been a tough go of it for the bullpen. you hoped for the Diamondbacks it was going to be a Diamondbacks lead. Blaine Boyer has rebuilt his career here in Phoenix, and he'd like to keep building on that here tonight. 71% he has gotten out those first batters. His ERA of 3.60, but opponents a high 3.16. Opponent's batting average.
Well, the Diamondbacks waste a big scoring opportunity in the bottom of the seventh. Now a lot of momentum in the Cardinal dugout. It's up to Blaine Boyer to squash all that momentum here.
Isn't it funny? Joe Borowski said it very clearly as the first pitch is grounded and grounded foul. Our analyst on the pre and the post game show, and longtime major league relief pitcher, when he said, you can book it. That if you're in the middle of struggles, you'll be in again. It might be the next day, and it'll be a close game or a tie game. Just book it. Plan on it. There won't be a walk in the park. Turns out he's right as that one is lifted, scalded into left center field. To the gap it goes, and it's down. Up against the base of the wall, Rasmus races on around. For the fourth time this year, Boyer is working back-to-back days or with 0 days rest. And in those games, opponents are 5 for 6 against him with a bat in their hand.
As you can see, Blaine Boyer, at least this year, hasn't enjoyed pitching back-to-back days. That gets Mel Stottlemyre on the phone. That pitch was down, but it went about 410 feet out to left center field. Boy, it just seems like every time momentum makes that shift into your dugout, it just seems like something big's going to happen no matter what. And the Diamondbacks missing a big opportunity to take the lead in this game. All of a sudden, all that momentum now with the Cardinals, and here they go.
So Chad Qualls will get ready to work. Reynolds looking for a bunt from Felipe Lopez. He is in at third. He's not bunting. He takes up and away. 1-0 the count. Now, Mark, I should say clearly, cheating in a few steps on the grass. He wasn't charging in as that pitch came home. Here's Mark. You can see right there in the cut of the grass. Takes a low strike right at the bottom of the zone. Lopez, in 6 career plate appearances, is 2 for 5 against Boyer, with a double and a walk and a strikeout. Well, when he's right, he can get those ground balls, but what you have right now with that runner at second is no double play situation. No. Line score is even. 2 runs, 8 hits, no errors for both teams. Now he's bunting and he drops it down. Boyer off the mound. And in time for the out. Lopez moving him up that time with a nice bunt. So now Tony La Russa sends a man to the plate who is 3 for 3 against Boyer. And Yadier Molina.
Well, if I'm AJ, I think I might be walking Yadier Molina. He's not a guy that strikes out much. He puts the ball in play. I might try to set up a double play here. Let's see what AJ decides to do. Looks like right now he's bringing his infield in. He's going to pitch to Yadier Molina.
Snyder takes a peek in just to make sure. Infield is in. Bouncing ball off the glove of LaRoche. A run will score. 3-2 Cardinals.
That'll go as an error on Adam LaRoche. It was hit hard, but it was right in his tracks. But that's a play he'll tell you he needs to make. So they elect to pitch to Molina. And a run across the board to take the lead for the Cardinals.
Let's see if he can get a ground ball here now with Brendan Ryan. Get 2 quick outs, get out of this inning. It's 3-2 St. Louis. Snyder calls for time there. Ryan has walked, he has singled, he has flied to center field. Now Tony La Russa's approach for the rest of the game changes as he gets ready to manage his bullpen. Pitches up, pitches away. 1-0 the count. Stavanoa waits on deck. Nick Stavanoa. In his first at bat of the season, he hit a bomb, a 2-run pinch hit homer against the great Trevor Hoffman in Milwaukee. But first it's Ryan. And he takes low. 2-0 the count. On the homestand, it was successes, not domination, but very, very solid relief work. Did he go? Yes, he did. On the road trip, that's where the struggles began. And they actually had a blown save in Los Angeles in the second game of the series and managed to come back and win it.
The only game they won.
Managed to come back and win it, and you can see the struggles, the pitches, and also the time spent warming up, the up and down, that's not even calculated there. The 2-1. Hit on a line, right to Johnson, trying to get two. He hustles it and he throws it into the dugout.
All of a sudden, the defense now starting to crumble. An error led to a run. And then that's a play right there for Kelly Johnson. He makes a nice play, but there's no reason to throw that. Molina wasn't off the bag. That's just one you stick in your pocket. He gets to go all the way to third. You can see. I mean, there's just no way Molina was back easily.
You know what's interesting? It is being discussed a little bit with regard to the struggles for a group of your team, and in this case it's the bullpen. It may be somebody else at another time in a season that do either A, hitters press, do they try and pick the guys up, do starting pitchers press, try to do too much, do the coaches, do they manage or coach differently with the manager? Stavanoa takes a pitch away. I think that was a case of a second baseman trying to do everything all at once and get a couple of quick outs, help his bullpen out, get back in the dugout, and as you said, no sense.
So a couple errors here in the inning. Let's see if Boyer can pitch around this one.
1-1 the count. Was able to break camp with the club. He had had some time in the big leagues before, but able to break camp for the first time in his career as a big leaguer.
It's a good feeling.
At flight, that's a good feeling. At flight to wherever you're headed.
Well, just getting that news when you get called into the manager's office, you're expecting to maybe get sent down. He says, "Congratulations, you made the big league club."
And he rewarded his manager pretty early with a key home run.
Bomb off of Trevor Hoffman. They call him Big Tex out of Houston.
The 1-2. Waves at that one, up and away. Stavanoa goes down on strikes. Well, a run across against the bullpen, and it's 3-2. Glad to have you back. Hey, by the way, the Coyotes and Red Wings, that series rolls on. 3-2 the score here. Look at that, cutie. That's great. Coyotes winning. And then tomorrow, from Detroit, from Gracie's favorite city, my favorite city, Detroit, Michigan, on Fox Sports Arizona, Todd Walsh and the crew.
It's not really.
At 3:30. Diamondbacks go to Detroit this year, take on the Tigers. Justin Upton to lead it off. Hard thrower Jason Mott ready to go.
He can run it up there about 98, 99 miles an hour. And he has got all kinds of shenanigans going on out there on the mound. High strung. Fun to watch, actually.
Justin Upton 0 for 2 against Mott with 1 strikeout, as you see the numbers. Look at Molina.
Gas. Right by Justin Upton. That's just a little too tall when it's coming in that hard.
It's fun to watch a catcher like Molina work, too. As that pitch came home, he was down right above the ground as that one is away. Do that one leg out to the side. You see a lot of those Cardinals there with the clean domes there.
The clean dome with the beard. Skip Schumacher has that. Mott has that.
Upton belts it into right center field, but over to make the play is Ryan Ludwig. So just an 0 for 4 tonight. That brings up Adam LaRoche. By the way, we have to send out a word of congratulations to not a veteran first baseman, but a guy who's now a baby in the big leagues as a first baseman, local product at a Chaparral High School and Arizona State University. Ike Davis was called to the big leagues and made his major league debut
good for
tonight.
Ike. Star player for ASU. I played with his daddy, Ron Davis.
Well, they rolled on it, some video. How about this feeling? How nervous was he?
First at bat, I understand, in the major leagues. Bat breaks, but it doesn't matter when it lands out there.
Now, you can relate to being a young first baseman and them looking at you, the skipper, and the executives looking at you and saying, it's your job, my friend.
Your job.
How did it start with you?
Well, kind of the same story. I got called into Don Zimmer's office. It was in San Diego. He said, son, you're my first baseman. And I was elated. And he says, you'll be my first baseman until you show me you're not. And we'll know in about a week. A week? That's all I get is a week? And I said, well, that's a week more than I thought I was going to get. So I better get hot. That's what I told myself. Get hot.
Great story. And a great story in New York tonight. Congratulations. Everybody, they got a piece out of everybody. Oh, boy.
Oh, Marty Foster took that one. Looks like he took it right in the kisser. I guess he's going to be okay.
Dave Edwards races right out. You can see he stumbled back, and that's what scared Molina. He thought he was going to go down.
Yeah, it was kind of a... Yeah, you can see it. That one got him. Whoa, hey, whoa, hey. Oh, that's a great shot right there of Yadier Molina caring for his fellow. Yeah, umpires and players, folks, they're all in this thing together. Yeah, you see arguments with umpires and you see, players get upset with some of their calls, but at the end of the day, we're all in this thing together. And we try to work with each other and provide a good game for everybody. Marty Foster, a veteran. That one just looked like it took a pretty big bite out of that left cheek of his. He's a tough man. He's going to take it. Seems to have his bearings about him. I just love the fact that Yadier Molina caring about him, and you can see he's stunned. That's a great shot.
So Marty's all right. Marty makes his home in Wisconsin in the wintertime, born in Denver. And is a big Big Ten football fan.
Really? I think he felt like he just got run over by Beanie Wells right there. Beanie.
He's going to call time one more time. Pull himself together. Marty does. He didn't feel right. Mott will take his time. 10 years of big league service for that man behind the plate. Oh, you love the Cardinals look there. 2-2 the count. Hang in there, Marty. Your mates and the catcher in front of you have their eyes on you. Pitches up, pitches away, 3-2 the count.
The Diamondbacks need to try to find some kind of action, create some excitement. See if Adam LaRoche can get something he can handle and hit it hard somewhere.
Broke his bat. All the defenders bunched together. He still managed to drop it in. Schumacher was essentially playing rover in shallow right, and he dumped it in between Schumacher and Ludwig, and so a base hit there. And here's Mark Reynolds. How about a little bit of a base running choice there as Abreu comes out, and he will.
LaRoche finishes his day with a couple of base hits. He breaks his bat, as you said, and just hit it right out there in the middle of everybody. So a one-out base runner. Tony Abreu comes in to run for LaRoche. He's been nursing a bad quad. And the always dangerous Mark Reynolds. He's driven in the only 2 runs here, and that was back in the first inning. He hit a 2-run double off of Brad Penny. That's all Brad Penny would give up the rest of the day. And this is how it transpired. That thing made a beautiful sound, didn't it? Everybody scores. He's got a chance. He's representing the go-ahead run here in the 8th inning.
Reynolds has had 3 matchups with Mott. He is 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts, which, if you know Mark Reynolds well enough, that means Mark has him just where he wants him.
Well, that's the way he is. We like to describe him. He's always got that puncher's chance. You think you got him, and all of a sudden that haymaker comes and knocks you out, and that's a base hit.
That bat shattered, it broke into a couple of pieces, strong enough to muscle it through the hole. It didn't leave the ballpark, but it left the infield, and there is action on the base pads because of it.
Another Maple bat dies, another Maple bat explodes. Fortunately, nobody got hurt. That's just a tough read for a third baseman. And that bat just explodes like that. Everything's coming at you at the same time. I don't know if Felipe would have gotten it anyway, but Chris Young, an opportunity. He leads this club in RBIs. He's got 15 of them. There's a couple more guys out there. Dave Duncan's going to go to the mound, the pitching coach for the Cardinals. Have a talk with his young right-hander, Mott. And the Diamondbacks creating a little juice in here now, creating a little bit of excitement. Back-to-back broken bat base hits.
They'll talk about it. Young, who has popped up in the infield and put a couple of balls on the ground. We'll see what he can do in driving in a run. Gracie talked about the RBIs. 15 RBIs. With runners in scoring position, he has been successful half the time, as you can see. He, like Mark Reynolds, 0 for 3, 3 strikeouts against Mott. See the defense, infield in a few steps, even a few more. Off the end of the bat, into shallow center field. Rasmus is there to put it away.
Well, once again, Chris Young first pitch swinging, and he got another good pitch to hit. I mean, this ball is about belt high and out over. It was a good pitch to hit, and once again, he just didn't do anything with it. You can see that ball's right there to hit, but he gets it off the end of the bat and nothing doing.
Tony La Russa comes out. He had the lefty, the veteran lefty, Trevor Miller, warming earlier. And I think he's going to put him to work. So La Russa gets busy, looking for a matchup. And all of a sudden, Rusty Ryle grabs a bat and will reset the situation when we come back. .36-year-old left-hander Trevor Miller goes to work. Before we tell you about him, we remind you to get all of the latest D-backs gear straight from the source at dbacks.com. It's the largest selection of T-shirts and hats and jerseys and more. Hop on the official online shop. It's dbacks.com. The 36-year-old left-hander has been at it for a while. Detroit, Houston, Toronto, the Dodgers, Tampa. Last couple of seasons, and you can see so far so good out of the gates. Ryle, a much more dangerous hitter with regard to slugging the baseball against a lefty than a righty. Let's see if he's able to do that here.
Well, Miller, not a hard thrower, more of a finesse guy.
And Ryle takes a breaking ball that is low. Last year, in 70 overall appearances, lefties hit 135 against Miller. Righties 160 points higher, 295.
Well, looks like AJ has got the matchup on paper that he likes. Now it's just a matter of Rusty Ryle picking out something up in the zone that he can handle.
Up and away, 2-0 the count. Snyder waits on deck. Two runners out there. Tying run, go-ahead run. Ryle made the club for situations like this. Pulled the string on him. Caught him aggressive. That is a 36-year-old's veteran pitch there.
As you said, a finesse guy, 2-0. Throw the big sweeper. And the youngster Ryle just couldn't lay off of it.
The 2-0. 2-2, I should say, as he chases away on 2-1.
Yeah, like you said, the veteran is right now putting on a little bit of an education for the youngster, using his aggressiveness against him, throwing the change-ups. 2 pitches off the plate, nowhere near, but Ryle, he's just amped up. He's just dying to hit it, and the ball just never gets there.
Wow, over the outside, something part of the corner. It's called strike 3, but he got him overly aggressive, and then he did some painting.
That's not even close.
Goodness gracious.
I mean, not even close.
And then it is Edwin Jackson going head-to-head with Chris Carpenter. We'll have them for you. And don't forget, tomorrow's game is on Fox Sports Arizona Plus. As Chad Qualls takes the baseball, tries to keep it right here. Ryle is in left field. There's Rusty. And Reynolds is at first. Abreu is at third. And for Chad Qualls, a tough go of it on the trip to Southern California. So right away, ground ball, good to see. That is his specialty, 1 out. What he does best, pitch to contact, downward dive on the pitch, and 1 away. He got to where he would be, and he's told us this, and he knows it, and you've watched him enough, folks, to know it. And when he gets on the side of the baseball with that hand and starts to overthrow a little bit, it's flat.
Flattens out. Doesn't get that good sink. It gets run, but it stays up in the zone. Doesn't get that good sink.
So now Ryan Ludwig.
That's the good Qualls sinker right there. Nice play. Excellent play by that man right there.
Oh, 1 to count. Slider hovers over the inside. No balls and 2 strikes with Albert waiting on deck. In the 2 outings in Dodger Stadium, it was a combined 2 innings, 5 hits, 3 runs overall, and 3 walks as well. And that's for Chad. He can get hit, pitchers get hit, but it's been the walks for this bullpen. Oh, 2. Did he offer on the slider? He did not.
Let's see, did he check it? It looked like he checked it. I think that's a very good call by first base umpire Gary Severson.
So now 1 ball and 2 strikes. Fouls that one off again. Buries that fastball in. The 1-2. Got him on a slider. Another good sign. The dive on that slider, not flat at all. And that arm angle right where he wants it.
He threw some very good pitches right there. Some good sinkers and some good sliders with Ludwig. And when Chad's right, when he's got his location, when he's got his sharp stuff, he's virtually unhittable.
Mm-hmm. So now he faces Albert Pujols. And in the career, you can see good successes.
Pretty much everybody but Rodrigo Lopez.
The 1-0. 1-1 the count.
Good slider there. Stayed right at the kneecaps of Albert Pujols as Ryan Franklin, the Cardinal closer, finishes his last warm-up tosses.
Topper right around the plate, so now 1-2 the count. Now you can keep looking for an area where he struggles, but I promise you, you won't find it.
He struggles in 20-inning games.
Yes, that's exactly right.
That's where he struggles.
And Rodrigo Lopez. Right off the plate. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count. Gold Glove a couple of seasons ago.
Really up to this point, Albert lined out his first time up to center field, led to a double play, but since then, he hasn't looked all that comfortable against some of the Diamondback pitching. But that's always one mistake away from ending. He got him to move his feet. That's what Chad wanted to do.
The 2-2. Screamer up over the head of Stephen Drew and a base hit for Albert Pujols.
Well, he got the mistake he was looking for finally. Just a cement mixer slider there from Qualls. And he laces it. This one just stays right in the middle of the zone. Watch those hips. Bang! Just explode through the baseball. Eyes stay right on it. He just doesn't miss mistakes. I guess you're not supposed to, but boy, you leave something in the middle of the plate, he doesn't pop it up.
See if he can get Holiday on the ground here. He did, but it's into right field and it's a base hit. So a hit for Pujols, a hit for Holiday. And Chad, who has, as we mentioned, given up runs in 3 of 5 appearances, and in his last 2, trying to keep it right here. You really have to keep it right here.
Exactly. You got to find a way if you're Chad Qualls. Okay, you've given up a couple of hits in a row, but you tell yourself, so what? It's first and second. It's 2 outs. I'm 1 out away from putting a 0 on the board. All I got to do is execute my game plan, execute my pitches, keep the ball down, and I'll be just fine. But you got to have that confidence. Right now, they're looking for anybody in that bullpen to find that confidence.
Spins off of that one a little bit, and 1-0 is the count. 3-10-0 for the Cardinals. 2 runs, 10 hits, and 2 errors for the Diamondbacks. Wayne Boyer gave up a run out of that bullpen, though to be fair, it was an unearned run. The 1-0. Helped him out a bit. 1-1 the count as Rasmus waves over the top of that one.
When you can get a guy to swing at a fastball in the dirt, you know you've got some good tilt on your sinker. That was a beauty.
Rasmus played for Phoenix City in Alabama in the Little League World Series in 1999. Hit .417. The 1-1. Runners on the move, and it's fouled off.
Well, I like that. I like that by Tony La Russa. Got a couple of your big old donkeys out on the base paths. But if you see that the pitcher's not paying attention, go ahead. Why not? I like it. Push the accelerator. I like that darn something.
Got you worked up over there?
It gets me fired up.
Well, we like to have that energy. A rocket shot on a slider that hung in that time.
It stayed far enough in. There's no way Rasmus could do anything but pull it foul. But he needs to get that ball down.
Hey, listen, a lot to talk about, and it will be immediately after this game. Bill Borowski and Brad Steinke will join us for Quest Diamondbacks Live, former longtime Major League relief pitcher, with his perspective on what these guys are going through right now. The 1-2. That one dove down and away. really hooked it, got on top of it. 2-2 the count to Colby. The St. Louis Cardinals 8-4. Diamondbacks coming in 5-7, winning both series to open things here at home. And then going out on the road and losing both series. That one knocks off Snyder's mask again.
Catchers and umpires taking a beating back there tonight.
That catcher, we don't like being beaten up. You miss him. You miss both of them. There's some offense right there sitting together.
Unfortunately, what they've got in common is missing a lot of games.
Ground ball into center field. Pujols on a round. The throw from Young is not in time. So Qualls has now thrown 21 pitches in this game. And unfortunately for Chad and for the Diamondbacks, the lead is now 4-2 St. Louis.
So the struggles continue for Chad Qualls. Sinker down, he just chops it right back up the box and got by the glove of Chad Qualls. And into center field it goes. And that is a monster insurance run right there for the St. Louis Cardinals.
Now Felipe Lopez. 1-0 the count. Well, you're hoping that Qualls can have a confidence building in it. Keep it close, keep it right where it is, and then you get him back in the dugout and a dozen pitchers or so. Then you hopefully close with him tomorrow. Well, now he's thrown.
He's probably done for tomorrow.
23 pitches.
I would imagine he's most likely done for tomorrow. Mel Stottlemyre just got off the phone. The Diamondbacks are going to get somebody else loose now. Because I don't think this is what they envisioned when they got Chad Qualls out there. It was a long, drawn-out inning. It didn't look like it was going to be when he quickly disposed of the first two hitters.
Lopez pops it up. Over to make the play is Chris Young. But a big insurance run against that Diamondbacks bullpen. And it all started with a couple of sluggers. Pitcher, our APS Energy All-Star, it's Rodrigo Lopez, did the job. And you certainly hope, although now it appears there's a lot of work to do, that you don't have another solid start wasted by the Arizona Diamondbacks pitching staff. But it unfortunately may be the case. He was great tonight.
He was fabulous tonight. 7 innings, only 2 runs. But that just wasn't enough. His offense got him 2 early runs, but that's been it. Lopez dominated a very good Cardinal lineup. Full of stars, but unfortunately Brad Penny was equally as good. And the bullpen has come on and given up a couple of runs, one in the 8th, one in the 9th, and here we sit on a 4-2 ball game, and now it's time for the Cardinal closer, Ryan Franklin, to enter the ball game.
Franklin goes to work this year, certainly not perfect at all. You can see in 6 innings he has been scored upon, but perfect in the saves, and that's where it matters.
That's
4
what you
for
pay
4.
him to do.
Not your 99-mile-an-hour style closer, is he?
No, not at all. Guy that throws cut fastballs, sinkers.
But throws a lot of strikes.
Throws curveballs, yeah. Had a great year last year, at least a great first half. There's the breaking ball for strike one. That was a beauty.
So the Cardinals looking to improve to 9-4. Not far behind them, the Pittsburgh Pirates, who are 7-5 to start the year. Good for them.
I agree.
Tonight in San Diego, San Francisco and San Diego are tied up at 2 apiece. 2-2 that game in the bottom of the 9th inning. San Francisco came in at 8-4. 3 games ahead of the Arizona Diamondbacks. The 1-1.
Another breaking ball, another called strike. Pretty pitch.
Just that simple, folks, isn't it? Throw a bunch of strikes and throw a second pitch for a strike, and you can close in the 9th inning. It's not that simple, but he makes it look like that.
But he doesn't hurt himself with walks. That's why he's successful. He
Ryan,
makes you hit the baseball.
As he bounces that one in there. Got the rally caps on. You folks at home now, I don't have to tell you, do I? I mean, if we get the rally caps on.
Hey, got to throw them on. There they are. There's a couple there. Good ones.
The 2-2. Fly ball, center field. 1 out. And so now John Hester. Franklin, born in Fort Smith, Arkansas, grew up in Oklahoma. Was a Mariners 23rd round draft pick. Was an all-star. About that, at 36 years old, he reinvents himself, finds his way to the bullpen. In the first year, he's a real full-time closer. He's an all-star. It's a great story.
Yeah.
Here's John Hester. There it is. First pitch curveball, strike one. Was a starter for several years in Seattle, a double-digit winner in 2003.
What was going on with the strike zone back there? It's a couple of pitches that have been off the plate and down, and yet they're strikes.
The 0-2. And it makes you swing at that.
Exactly.
So he makes quick work of Hester. And here's what you're talking about.
See what you think. This is the previous pitch. Yeah, strike. Not in my book. And that, of course, makes Hester have to swing at that. And the Cardinals are 1 out away from taking the first game of this series.
Nine pitches thrown by Franklin, trying to ensure the victory. Unfortunately, 25 pitches thrown by the Diamondbacks closer, and it may be in defeat. The 0-1. Outside. 1-1 to count. Stephen Drew waits on deck. Chad Qualls, frustrated, looks on. Kelly takes a curveball that dips outside. Kelly 0 for 3 with a walk in his time against the veteran Franklin. the right-hander with the 2-1. Offers it a pitch up in the zone. 2-2 the count with 2 outs. What a career it has been. A unique career, to say the least. And a career that has him #1 amongst active managers and only trailing Connie Mack and John McGraw in the history of the game. Bouncing ball, Pujols to a knee, to the bag. A tight one is won by the Cardinals. Rodrigo Lopez was very solid tonight, but St. Louis comes in, maybe a little bit fatigued with a 20-inning game and a night game last night as well. But they win it by a score of 4-2. Arizona drops to 5-8. St. Louis is 9-4. It's Quest Diamondbacks Live. It's our post-game show, and it gets started here in just a moment. We'll talk about this one